everybody.
Hey,
What's going on?
Guys, how you guys doing?
doing well, Lee.
Good.
How's it
How's it
going,
going?
Joseph?
I'm doing
What's
well.
up?
Gabe, it's good to
Yeah,
see
great
you.
seeing everybody. So thank you for jumping on and joining me on Collection Wars, Joseph Lee. For anybody that's tuning in for the first time, obviously, let's just do some quick introductions. Joseph from at Nowhere Collection, right? Joseph,
Yes,
you're a collector of many things.
lots of things.
Mainly Star Trek.
Mainly Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Trek, pop culture, comics, pretty much anything that catches all of our interests is is of interest to me. So
Exactly.
now, of course, we're not your usual crew, but it's good to be here.
Appreciate you guys jumping on and showing solidarity, and what we're going to talk about something. And obviously, Lee, what's up, Lee? How you doing?
What's going on?
Little Lee's cool props. Look at that background, Lee.
What a background! I know.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much glare in there though with the lighting. It looks good in person, but it's too much light for a screen.
You just need some. You need some front light on your face.
No, less light on me, the better.
Guys, but yeah, thank you so much, and thank you everybody to our Collection Wars family. Obviously, that's jumping on and coming on. I know a lot of people are probably wondering, why Michael's not here, and I think first and foremost, as a family, as a a Collection Wars family, I think all of us really just need to keep Michael just in our thoughts. Michael, unfortunately, he lost his mom yesterday, and obviously, I mean that's just something that's heartbreaking that most of us cannot imagine what he's going through. And I just I want to put that out there because Michael, he's such a kind-hearted person, right? And you could see that's he got that from his mom, right? And a lot of his like passion and a lot of his love for things and the way he is, I think it did come from his mom. And I definitely think that it's it's tragic, and we're all here to support Michael because that's what we do. I did want to.
It's very sad, and he was so very close to his mom, and I know this is heartbreaking.
He is, and I did want to show, and I hope it's okay with Michael, but I do want to show a quick picture, and it's one of the just to show like that passion right between the Star Wars and again his love for family, right? Michael, he's maybe I won't show it, but he sent me these beautiful pictures of his mom with his Star Wars collection, and I could see that. I mean that means a lot to him, right? And Michael, I mean that's his world, his family, and kind of his passion for for what brings us all here every Saturday. So I know he definitely appreciates all your thoughts and prayers, and in this hard time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I could already see, Matt, obviously his condolences to Michael. And I think with all of us, right, we want to reach out, and if you guys would like, I mean, just reach out, shoot Michael a quick message. We're all here for him, and as a Collection War family. And we always talk about Collection Wars being kind of our happy place, right? So hopefully he'll be able to tune back in here and see all the support and all the all the love that he's getting from everybody.
It's really tough, to lose a parent. I'm grateful that I haven't faced that yet, but I know I will be, one day. And Michael said something to me yesterday that, I think encapsulates the way that he feels. I think the way that, for those of you out there who've lost a parent, I'm sure the way you feel or felt. And he said, it's amazing. I'm surrounded by, my wife and my daughter and all my friends, and I still feel alone.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard. You know, so I hope it helps to know that we're all out here and thinking of him and supporting him in this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, like I said, Michael, we love you, and we're here for you, and we're here for you, for anything you need, Michael. Cool. Well, again, everybody watching, obviously, it's bad news, but we want to, just in the spirit of Michael, kind of keeping everything positive. And I think, we definitely want to, we want to dedicate some time for Michael and his passion for everything, and kind of just bring up, I don't know if you guys remember that episode, but part of Michael's passion and collecting, came from his mom. And I know, like, he talked about the little necklace, right, that his mom gave him, the little Star Wars necklace that he kind of treasured the most out of everything. And again, it kind of goes back to the whole, what we always talk about, collecting, and that it's much more than just this stuff, right? It's that feeling that we get. It's that nostalgia. It's kind of how bringing us back to our childhood. And I think, Michael's, love for Star Wars, again, comes from that, right? From his mom and from his family. So again, it's a tragedy, but I think she'd be proud. Obviously, she was proud of what Michael has become, and he's such a kind, gentle soul.
Teddy bear.
He is, yeah. I know. But thanks everybody on the comments for all your support. And hopefully we'll have Michael, we'll have Michael back next week, and back to our happy place.
Yeah. We're all thinking of you, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's been new with you guys? Haven't seen it. Lee, we haven't seen you in a little while. What's been up with you?
Oh, painting. Yeah. Sanding, painting, filling, more sanding, painting, filling. I'm almost there. I promise I'm almost there. I keep saying it for months and months, but I took a month off and stepped away from everything because I just burned out. I mean, I've been nonstop for 16 months.
Yeah.
I hit the wall, man. I come back from celebration and I just had nothing left in the tank, So I took a month off of couching it for quite some time, binge watching everything that I could, but now I'm back. So yeah,
Nice.
So that's good. I got all my stuff sent to the framers and preemptively bought my frame for Marcel's 2 pieces, or the one I've already got, but the mall one. But I did, like, I gave you a heads up, and I want to give the viewers, and I talked to Marcel about it. So 3 of my big pieces that I've got from Marcel, the frame started to come apart. So it turns out that glass, that size, is just so heavy, the frames won't stay together. So me having the awesome and bestest framing girl on the planet, she is taking the hit on it and replacing all of them. And the order that I just placed, because I didn't figure this out until I was talking to you on the phone the other night, Gabe, that they were coming apart, right?
Yeah.
So she is... she said she's going to make it right in the framing department. They're just going to take care of it all. So just a heads up for you guys, if you are buying Marcel's big pieces or you got the mall on the way or the Macquarie, have them use the acrylic and not the glass.
But Lee, I'm surprised because when they do something that big, I mean, isn't I don't know what kind of a frame it is. If it's metal, is it a metal frame?
No,
it's a wood frame.
it's a wood frame.
But don't they nail the
Nail
thing
and glued,
sir?
but that piece of glass. So I'm using the what do they call it? The museum quality glass or the preserving glass. It's just so heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the first one. So the Boba Fett started doing it, and we kind of thought she blamed her on the framing kid, the guy, the little young kid, like the apprentice that's
Yeah.
gluing the frames together. So we put it down to that. I never thought any more of it, but it wasn't until what was it, Gabe? Like Thursday night we was talking, and I was like, "Oh shit, they're coming apart again." So I messaged her at like 11 o'clock, and she's like, "I am not at work." So
Oh, jeez.
I even asked you. Remember, I was like, "Wait, isn't she just like an hourly?"
What do you have? Do you have her cell phone number, Lee? You're calling
no,
her.
we follow each other on Instagram.
Jeez.
So I sent her that message, and then she's like, "I'm not at work." I was like, "Okay," I didn't even think about it because I just saw it, right? But she messaged me the next morning and said she's taking care of it, going to swap out everything for this acrylic and the existing ones that I already have. She's going to swap out for acrylic too. So it's not that much more in the wash to get this stuff. From what she said was it was insurable, which I've never heard that term, but she said if you use the this acrylic or plexi, whatever it is, that it's covered on your house insurance. So that's a good thing. You don't have to have the collector's insurance like some of us have, right? So
That's interesting.
yeah. So that was a good bit of information I wanted to share with everybody.
Yeah.
So you guys don't end up in my situation, or if you don't have a good framing girl like I do that will pay for all the new pieces of acrylic.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, speaking of Marcel, just he now has the 16 by 20s available. So for anybody that's been waiting for that, that's now available on his website. And we'll post the website in the description. Or obviously, if you go on Collection Wars, his on there. I mean, his website is on there. Sorry.
I can't wait to get this next week.
Yeah, so that's available, and obviously, he also told me that there are still a couple left.
Three, right?
Of the bigger ones, yeah. So if anybody missed out,
the signature ones, yeah.
Yeah, if anybody missed out on the signature one, I mean, you got to jump on that now. I love the way he signed him like that with the. Is it going to be white or gold? Do you know, Lee?
What's that?
His signature.
Gold.
That's beautiful.
That was my idea.
Was it? I love.
When I said gold, he's like, gold? I was like, yeah. Gold.
I love it.
It's with Marcel's pieces, those large format ones are really. I mean, you almost have to have the large format piece to really to take in, the art behind it because the smaller ones, they're just they look like photographs when they're that size because they're so perfect, right? And then you reduce down all of the, all the brush strokes essentially, and then it just looks like a photo.
People are real estate. What's the word? Impaired, should I say?
Impaired, yeah, like me.
Yeah, so I mean, the 16 by 20s work for some people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only luckily I've got this house because if I was still in the old house, I would have had nowhere to put those big ones at all.
Yeah. I mean, are you just the close up? And the thing is, I never realized. I mean, obviously, I have the Emperor one. I haven't taken it out. I haven't, been able to frame it. But I never realized it until I was chatting with Lee, and he walked by one of those frames. I was like, "Hey, can you shoot me a picture of the Emperor?" And he walked by him. I was like, "Holy, that is huge!" I mean, those paintings towered over Lee, and I can't imagine. Honestly, the 16 by 20 is going to look beautiful, and obviously, the details going to be amazing. But the large scale one of this, I mean,
Yeah, they look insane, man. And he posted a picture with the Macquarie and the mole next to each other.
yeah,
I was going to have the Emperor and mole right there. That was the plan. And then I saw those together. I was like, oh, man,
here's
maybe I changed my mind.
yeah. So here's the signature plaques with Ray Park.
Nice.
It's really interesting. I was like looking, like I saw this middle. You see this?
Variations, yeah.
Like this one has two signatures. Like he like messed up on it. He's like, I'm just gonna do it again. It's like, or I don't know. You see that middle one?
The ones that I've gotten from him in the past have been like
Right.
that too. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean both variations of him, because I had the one for the battle damage saber and the saber I sold to Sean. Those neither of those signatures look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what I mean? How cool that looks?
Yeah, that does look beautiful.
And these are his first two like colorful ones, right? I mean,
Yeah.
everything else has been black and white.
Yeah.
Marcel's paintings remind me of an exhibit that I saw once. I think we were in San Diego. And we went to a museum, and they had this photographer there who photographs insects, but he does them at such a high resolution. Like, I guess he takes microscopic photos of the entire insect and then stitches them together into one big picture. But the way they're displayed at the museum is on a digital screen. And so you see the insect, and then you can do this, you can continue to zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, and then you see the hairs and then the follicles and everything. And I bet that would be cool on one of Marcel's paintings.
So the little guys he signed in white, right?
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Maybe it's silver. I don't know. We might have to get him to clarify. I want to say, I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think he was doing the signature series in gold and the other ones in that white or silver. But I might be wrong.
Which would be really cool to match the gold plaque on the signature.
That was my thought on it, but who knows?
So there it is. Like he said. And in fact, if you wanted to, so Marcel messaged me. If you're still interested in one of those, one of the signature ones, the way to do it is to email him on or message Nancy, which is his wife. Message Nancy through Instagram or through the website. Or actually, no, sorry. Marcel's is through the Instagram. Nancy's handling the website. Either way, just message them and contact them. And if you're still, it sounds like there's 4 maybe.
I would use the website. Nancy is the brains behind the whole operation. So I would go straight through Nancy.
Yeah. And I'm going to just post the website really quick so you guys can hit them up. I'm going to just post it on the comments here. So it's Marcel. I mess up you remember with like David. So you say his last name.
Chenier.
Yeah. Beignet.
Yeah, you gotta say like Chenier. That's the only way I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's doing a run of 50 of those smaller ones, right?
Yeah. So definitely, shoot him a message if you're still interested in one of the signature ones, and he can get that. You guys can get that going.
Yeah, it's a nice.
Marcel clarified. Unfortunately, the gold didn't work out, lad. So it had to be signed in white.
Shattered my dreams.
There you go. It's okay. It's still.
What about the one that is gold? Where's that?
That one's yours.
That'll make it even more unique. Nice. Oh, my cat's biting my toes. Hey, stop it.
Lee, you still have that thing. I can't believe it.
I have been this close to drowning it about 10 times.
Hey, there's a new documentary on Netflix about the mind of cats.
Really?
Oh yeah,
yes.
I saw just the like early preview, and
so what is it when it's looking at you? I already know it's looking at me and thinking you're an asshole. I already know that. I can tell.
Oh.
So yeah, what else we were gonna bring up? Yeah, so with Marcel, obviously get those printed. And the reason why I actually reached out to Lee about it, it's hard to see because the lighting is really rough. But I don't know if you guys can.
I couldn't even see that then until
I
you.
know because it's the lighting is so.
Now it looks like a shadowy figure behind you.
I know you guys can't see, but this is a life size display where I have the emperor robe kind of on this mannequin, like in a special mannequin, but the face is just like almost like a felt material.
I can't even see that. It just looks like a black void behind you.
I know it's just hard because of the lighting.
Yeah.
There you go. That's better. A little bit right there up by the cape. There you go. That looks really ominous now and creepy. It's going to come alive and.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it a little bit better.
It looks from here it looks more like the Grim Reaper than
Emperor, right? Had some.
What's those from? The Lord of the Rings.
Or no, from Harry Potter, right?
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I really wanted to put this Emperor robe. Obviously, the Emperor is one of my favorite characters. I want to put him in here somewhere, but limited space. So I started thinking about moving kind of the studio scale stuff to a different spot and then making that kind of the centerpiece in the middle of the lightsabers with all that. But with that being said, there's going to be a huge space. I was going to take down like the Regal Robot Mythosaur skull and all that and the jetpack and put Marcel's print of the Emperor, because I got the signature edition, right behind it. And I could see that. Like, let me see, my camera
that would look cool.
My camera might shut off because it's very rough. But so put the Emperor right here, and then above it, let me see. So let me get this light out of the way. So above it, where the Mythosaur skull and where the jetpack would be Marcel's print, kind of framed all nice right behind it.
That would look cool.
Get some cool lighting. I mean, my kids would probably not appreciate it because there's going to be this creepy thing right there. But I mean, that's what we got to do, for the love.
Are you going to get the hands for him too, Gabe?
No. I want to keep it. No. I want to
see that sells hands that very similar, I guess.
No. I want to keep it very like museum style, like because it has like wooden hands. It has these like wooden, articulated hands. I might pose the hands kind of in a emperor like pose, but I want to keep that dark. It's like a dark, like a black brown wood underneath. So I think it would just look really cool, and it doesn't have feet. So it's just a half, and then there's a pole, and then there's a big, large base underneath. So it kind of matches the vibe and the whole look of like, the black master replica bases. So I think it'll look cool, and figure out how to display the master replica cane with the clasp. I might change it. I might put the master replica one on it, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. Gabe, I don't know if you got the pictures I sent you. I sent them just.
I did, yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the things I thought I would mention tonight, since it's kind of new. Whenever you want to talk about it or put up.
Let's get right to it.
Yeah. So for those of you who are fans of old science fiction,
Randy Bowen's.
That is Randy Bowen's Maria. So actually this photo was taken outside my house by my fire pit. Randy brought this over a couple of years ago when he finished the initial prototype. Mm-hmm. He came over and we were having drinks and we set it up outside, and I took a couple of these pictures, and it's just such a beautiful piece, right? This is quarter scale. So the statue is about 18 inches, and with the base, it's, I think, a total of like 22 inches or so. And it's just, it's fantastic. For those of you who love the old science fiction pieces. Mm-hmm. And of course, we know that Ralph McQuarrie based part of his design for C-3PO based
Right, Sean.
on Maria, right?
Right.
So, so I just talked to Randy because this was a big secret for the last couple of years. You know, he hadn't made any public announcements about it. But then he posted a bunch of stuff on Instagram the other day, and yeah, and so I called him just before the show, and I said, "So, you know, can I talk about this now, or what's the deal?" So, yeah, he told me, he kind of filled me in on what he's doing. He's actually hand finishing each one of these pieces himself. And because he's a pretty busy guy, you know, they take a little while. So he is not making, you know, he's not mass producing them in the sense that we can all place a bunch of orders. But he is making them one at a time, and then they are going up on heritage auctions. Yeah, so then they're being sold that way.
Okay.
And they've been collecting, you know, fetching a pretty penny, you know, because he's hand making them himself, and to have a handmade piece from Randy Bowen, I think is very appealing, you know, to a lot of people.
What's the ballpark they've started selling for?
The first one went for $10,500. But I think since then it's come down a little bit. I don't know what the last ones went for, but I think they're averaging, you know, between 2,000 and 3,000. So
how many is he doing, Joseph?
He's ultimately, he said he's going to do 100 of them. Okay. And that's,
I'll wait for 99. Hopefully it'll be down to about $500 by then.
Well, here's the thing, which is kind of crazy. He told me he's doing them in reverse. So the lower numbers are going to be at the end. So number 1 is going to be the last one he produces.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's why is that?
I don't know, but that's what he told me. And he said he's already gotten a bunch of, you know, phone calls and messages. I want number 1. I'll pay anything. Just, I want number 1.
So is he signing these on the bottom also?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. He'll autograph them. I'm sure if you purchase one, he'll autograph it.
Yeah. 10 grand's out of my league for a statue, dude.
Yeah. That's spending, but it is really beautiful. And the thing is, it's really interesting because, you know, there haven't been many of these, right? So, I don't know if maybe companies just don't feel there's a market for something that's that old, right? Metropolis came out in 1927. And that's, for those of you who don't know, it's Fritz Lang silent film. And anyway, it served as the kind of the basis for a lot of science fiction that came after it in terms of its design.
Are you getting this, Joseph?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. The reason that he decided to do this is because I was like, please make a Maria. Please make a Maria. There's nobody making a Maria.
Well, the only reason I asked, because Pablo Oliveira made a black and white print.
Oh, he did?
24, well, however long and narrow they are, just like all his other ones. But he did a Metropolis cityscape. Yes, black and white.
Really? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to try and
that with that print would look beautiful, man.
So
yeah,
I got.
Oh, good. No, I was going to say the original. So when I kind of approached him about this, and he loves Maria. He has a life-size Maria statue in his living room.
Oh, wow.
So he loves the subject material, right? And he's got a huge poster, movie poster in his movie room of Metropolis. So he's well familiar and really loves the subject matter. So I mean, I thought it was kind of an easy thing when I asked him, but like I said, nobody's really done this. Hollywood Collectibles Group made a statue a while back. They sold out. They're not, I mean, there was like one available on Amazon, on eBay for a long time. They were asking 10 grand for it. There is a model kit that was made in Japan, a vinyl model kit, smaller. There's a resin kit that's smaller. There's a 1/6 scale figure. But this, I think, is the best likeness and rendition of Maria, And in Randy's initial concept, he was going to do this piece, and then he was going to follow it up with a seated one on the, on her chair, with the light rings
Do you have
around.
close-ups of this picture, Joseph?
Well,
Can you
can you
zoom
in on it? It's a pretty good.
Uh,
If you can't zoom in, I have a couple of
I can
other.
zoom in. I just have to. Yeah, let me stop the screen, and then
Okay.
let me. Yeah.
And be aware, this is just the prototype, so it just had a base coat of silver on it. It doesn't have all of the finished details and the shading and everything else that he's doing. I'm sure the Heritage auction, yeah.
That's still cool as hell, though. Even if just the base coat on it, it looks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, I actually hold on. I'll be right back. You guys keep talking. I want to bring up because I have something really cool that I got at Comic-Con a couple of years ago. But
okay.
Of Randy's?
No. But it has to do with this and Star Wars.
With Maria. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh, maybe a Macquarie. Yeah, I mean, you can see, Lee, you love that Macquarie print, right? Of C-3PO.
3PO, yeah.
Yeah,
the
and
one I keep losing. I've lost 2 of them now.
You can see that, right?
Absolutely.
In this. Yeah.
I mean,
it's really beautiful.
I don't want to say that he copied it, but he certainly got a lot of inspiration from it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really I love this piece. I'm definitely getting one.
He's not giving you one?
Well,
probably.
We're gonna see about that.
Yeah, you should look. Actually, I think I saw one on eBay, the Metropolis, because I looked for some of Pablo's work.
The Hollywood Collectibles one?
No. The Metropolis print that Pablo.
Oh, the print from Pablo.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's not fetching what the Blade Runner ones, like that Blade Runner one. The one that I have they're asking $1,000 for it.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
So wait, does he not? I don't know. I've never gotten anything directly from him. Does he not? You can't get a print from him and have him sign it, or no?
Everything goes through Bottleneck Gallery.
Through Bottleneck. Okay.
So what he does is he does a run through Bottleneck Gallery, puts it out, and then X amount of months later, he does a few APs.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten one of those from him because I don't want to miss out when they go on sale, because he'll take a list of people that have asked him for an AP and he'll put it out to those people.
Oh, the Macquarie.
Just like
oh, is that a Metropolis?
Yeah,
an actual
in gold,
but it's like
the
carded like the Star Wars.
Oh, that's
figure.
Crazy.
And it was Super 7 that did a limited edition for Comic-Con.
Oh, that's
awesome. San Diego, Gabe?
Yeah, it was at San Diego Comic-Con, and it came with the little coin that said Robot Maria automation.
That's cool.
So it's really cool. Yeah, they like replicated the.
Yeah, that is cool.
Power of the Force ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it because I love that. I mean, it's a classic, right? You have to love. If you love sci-fi, you gotta appreciate that. So I saw it and I was like, I gotta buy that.
Yeah, no, I love the design, the aesthetic, everything about it. And I certainly hope he continues and he does the other one with the seated Maria in the chair, with the light. I was thinking, I was telling him, I was like, yeah, you should do the rings around it and have them light up, LED rings. And is that the print?
Yep. 65 Great British pounds.
Okay.
On eBay. I mean, would look.
Send me the link.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, copy.
Oh wait, hold on. We got someone coming in here real quick.
Who's coming in? Oh,
hey.
Michael, brother, we love you, man.
How you doing, dude?
Hey guys, I just wanted you guys to know that can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
First off, I just want to let you guys know that I just jumped on and watched the beginning of the show and Thank you, everybody, so much for your love. And this is really tough. It's been really tough. And I don't mean to bring the show down from what we're all about. But Gabe, Joseph, Lee, and everybody else who's chimed in on me, the love is overwhelming. And I just wanted to take the time to just say thank you so much. And anybody that's watching the show that still is lucky enough to have their mom and dad, go hug them and tell them that you love them. But most importantly is that I just it's been really tough knowing that I'm not going to be able to talk to my mom anymore, and to know that I have so much support from all of you awesome people helps me so much. And I love every single one of you. And I need y'all to know that my love for what Gabe and I do is everything to me. And obviously to you guys, because y'all wouldn't be spending every single Saturday night like you guys do. But Joseph, Lee, and Gabe, thank you guys so much for your love, and everybody else that watches the show. This is just something that we all have to deal with sometimes in life, and it's just I want my mom back, but I will see her again, right? But I love y'all, and I just wanted to take the real quick time to say, man, with all that, you guys wouldn't even imagine how many people have been chiming in. The love is that's what this show's about, is, not, is it collections or is it love? Because holy crap, I've gotten so much love from all of you guys, and it means so much to me. And I just wanted you guys to know that. And I'm sorry that I'm so weak right now, but I love y'all. And Gabe, Joseph, and Lee, you guys, thank you so much. Okay?
Always, Michael.
We're here for you, Michael.
Oh, I know that. And I know. But you guys go and take over to your conversations. And thanks for chiming me in, Gabe. And I can't wait to catch up to you guys next Saturday. And I'll be a little bit more in check. But thank y'all so much. I love y'all so much. All the viewers, I love y'all. It means so much to me. You guys are just helping me through. It's tough times. Gabe, you guys, I just want to say thank you. And we'll talk to you guys again, okay? See you guys next Saturday.
Talk to you later, Michael.
All right.
Well,
Love you, dude.
Thank you so much.
um,
Bye-bye.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, I know. I'm
hard. That's very hard.
I know. Oh, Michael. I mean, like I said, I can't imagine what he's going through, and all we can do is just be here for him, and obviously show our support. But there's better days coming, Michael. Trust me. So.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone, all your comments and all that. Obviously, I was posting them as Michael's saying. I'm sure he'll be watching it, and he'll read all your comments as well. So, and yeah, absolutely, Michael. This is definitely not weak. We talked about this. I'm like, I think all of us, especially most as boys, right? Like our moms were always, little mama's boys, or no matter what, no matter how old we get. So no, man, it's definitely not weakness, man. It's vulnerability.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. We're human beings, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Joseph,
Yeah.
I've found that you're welcome. I've been spending your money. I haven't spent any for a while.
Oh, Jesus.
They've
What
got a sepia version of it, so it's got the brown hues.
Oh, Christ.
So I've sent you that one too, but it's only $134, man.
Okay. Yeah, it'll
you
definitely.
have that. You've got to have that to go with it.
Well, like I said, I love Metropolis. I mean, you've that's part of my collection I don't think a lot of you have seen, which is the really old science fiction stuff. Voyage to the Moon, 1903. By
God,
George.
you're a nerd.
And yeah, I have a sculpture of that moon and the rocket, and of course some of the things from Metropolis. And yeah, I really love the old science fiction stuff. The stuff that really started it all. So
Well, the one that I always remember, the first science fiction movie I can ever remember, and I don't even remember the name of it. It's a flying saucer lands in like the backyard in like this sand pit, and it starts. People just cops and I go out there and they get sucked inside, and then they come back out and it's not them. Do you know what I'm talking about? I've seen it since, but I can't remember the name of it. Maybe somebody on here will know what I'm talking about.
Someone might know what it
it's
is.
like from the 50s, but that was my first sci-fi movie that I ever saw with that.
One of the things that I saw at Randy's house once, he painted a sculpture, like a massive sculpture of the Metaluna mutant from this island Earth. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Yeah.
And it was so big that he was actually able to put, instead of eyes, he put plasma balls inside the head. So you see all the the electrical. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And then it's on a base that looks like the computer from I'm blanking on the name of the computer, but the interocitor. Yeah, so it's cool. All that old science fiction stuff is just, I have a lot. I actually just got a 1/6 scale figure of one of the aliens from Twilight Zone from the 1950s. Yeah. You guys remember the episode to Serve Man?
Oh, is it the one where it's like the menu at the end?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's that alien. Sideshow did a 6-scale figure of that a long time
ago. Where they look very kind of traditional, like alien.
Yeah.
Very like big, almost like cone head. Yeah, no, I remember one time we were watching that episode. It just happened to be that episode we were watching, and me and my wife just kept on watching it. And because I remember seeing it like when I was younger, and then all of a sudden it's like it gets to the ending, and we're like, oh, like they're on the menu, and we just started cracking because it's so cheesy, but like it's also kind of creepy, right?
It is, yeah.
It's a good,
it's a couple of years ago.
Is that what it's called? Is that what the episode is called? It's a cookbook.
No, the episode is called To Serve Man.
No,
but the book. But I don't want to ruin it. Have you seen it, Lee? Are you going to see? I highly recommend. I don't want to say what it is because
is it on Tubi? Because that's where you can find like a ton of old stuff.
It used to be on Netflix.
On YouTube you can find, because it's only one of the segments, right? Because it's usually 2 or 3, right, per episode.
Yeah, so the episodes were only half an hour long episodes. They used to be on Netflix, the entire series from the 50s, the Rod Serling series. I don't know if it's still on there. It might be on CBS or the CBS streaming, because I think they have the rights to it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
well, I know that. Do you have Tubi? Did you ever get that?
I do have Tubi, but I didn't. I don't know what it's on because I haven't looked. There's so many streaming services now. It's got to be on one of them.
Well, it's nice. I like that Tubi because it has a lot of old stuff on it. It's all free, right? Everything's free on it, so that's refreshing concept.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then Gabe, there were a couple of other things that I sent you. One of them I know Lee will appreciate if he doesn't have them already. I struggled with this one. I was like, I want them so bad, but again, it was like, where the heck am I going to put them? But David actually got these too, and the way he posed them is better than the way I posed mine. But
I thought the Superman was on with the pedestal was a little higher on him, so you could put him behind them. But he was.
That's what David did. He put it on a riser.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he put it on a riser.
Yeah.
I thought the base was actually a little higher.
Yeah. But I had this. This is actually in the. By the way, Lee, you'd be very proud of me because I went and I ordered all my, bases, pedestals, my furniture from my movie room is coming.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. Wow. Holy
Yep.
moly. Did hell just freeze over? So how many pedestals did you get?
Well, right now I got 8 for the room, and then I was doing that wall with the floating shelves.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take a page out of your book and do it myself, because the company just gave me the quote to do those 3 floating shelves, right? 20 inches deep, 7 feet wide, 11 feet wide, 20 inches deep, 3 floating shelves on the wall. Take a guess how much they want.
10 grand.
Close, 7 grand
I
for
mean,
3
I did
shelves.
my own in my bathroom, dude. I did 4 of
Yeah.
them myself, and it cost me like with the butcher block maybe
I mean,
$300 each
Yeah.
for each bathroom.
I did.
Yeah. Look at Gabe's on
Yeah.
his too. He did his himself too. So I actually, and the funny thing is that the company, I had to give them the brackets. Like I had to.
Oh, so you
I
had
had
to
to send
buy
them
the
to the
hardware,
website.
and they still wanted to charge you $7,000.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Just for labor. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
So-
just gonna have I'm gonna have my friend who's a carpenter. He's just gonna make the shelves, and then I'm just gonna buy the brackets, and I'm just gonna mount them myself.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice which you were gonna hate.
Uh-huh.
What I would do, honestly, would be to cut all that drywall off,
Yeah.
mount those brackets, and then put new sheetrock over the top. So all you see is the blades coming out.
Right.
And that would be the perfect way to do it.
There you
But
go.
Yeah, that would be. I just don't want to cut.
Benjamin Bowen.
I'm gonna. I like Ben
He's
Bowen.
under first.
5800.
Yeah. First,
57.99. Who's a lower bidder here?
Scott
Scott
said,
Berry.
what is the prices, right?
Yeah, I know.
they're bidding for this contract.
Exactly.
I'll do it
So-
for free.
Uh,
There we go.
well,
I said
I'm
three,
going to
not free.
Oh,
I'm-
3.
for 3. I'm excited to do it. I'm gonna have to talk to my friend who's a carpenter, and then Matt also has a friend who does laminate work. I'm gonna just paint the brackets white, so you really won't see the verticals against the wall, because the busts will be in front of them. So
Yeah, you'll see them, and it'll drive you crazy.
well, Lee, I do want this to happen before my child starts college. So I'm just gonna
graduation of college.
Yeah, exactly. So I got those. Those are beautiful.
Congrats.
And I got them. I put them on that table that I have that's made of natural sodalite stone, so it's like marble on top of marble.
Yeah, I love the Batman is my favorite one. The cloak, the way it drapes,
Yeah.
it just looks. Do you have a picture of the backside of that? Because the way
I don't.
I mean, it looks fantastic. That Batman is,
Yeah.
The Batman is my favorite, man. If I was gonna get one, it's gonna be the Batman. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
You know what I wish they would have done? This is what I would have loved. Okay, if that Batman, like that Marvel, and then did you see the black Spider-Man that Sideshow came out with, where he's kind of, he's hunched down, but the base is very like gothic looking.
Yes, tall. Mm-hmm.
I wish that one was either kind of a marble or a bronze statue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would have been so cool to get like Batman, Spider-Man, like all your favorite, comic book characters in kind of in a bronze
You
or
could
marble.
probably get somebody to repaint that though, Gabe.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not super crazy, right? Because how much is each piece? About 300, 400?
These were about 350 or something, and they're quarter scale. They're big.
Yeah.
They're really nice.
So,
and they're painted beautifully. They look like marble. It's crazy.
Queen Studios, right?
Yeah, this is Queen Studios.
Studios, yeah.
Talking of that, I got invited to the Las Vegas thing. Are you going, Joseph?
Well, it all depends. Afaf is very pregnant. So it's I can't really leave her again after going to Celebration and Wonderfest and San Diego Comic Con. So if we're gonna go to Vegas for that, it's gonna be a family trip. So
Okay, then I'll go to the Rhino without you then.
oh Jesus. They can stay in the hotel, it's okay.
I'm gonna get a shitty message from your wife now.
Oh geez. Yeah, I know. I see the message here. Someone posted, Johnny posted, will I be getting the Dark Side bust? I don't think so. I'm not a big Dark Side. You know, I'm not a fan of the DC cinematic.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
and that's the thing. But they did these. I'm glad what they did here were the comics, were the comic versions, right? Not the actors.
Well, is the Batman because I've got that Beast Kingdom one that looks very similar to that. The one that was in what was the last?
Well,
Batman
that was from the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes,
but
which was the last movie.
these are comic, so they don't represent. They're not, none of the
But
faces.
it looked very similar to that, though, right?
It's very similar. I mean, the Batman, you know, you can't really tell who he is with that mask on. But like the Superman and the Wonder Woman, that's not Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot. So
no.
Yeah. But speaking of actors playing roles, Gabe, you want to show the other pictures I sent you?
Absolutely.
Now this one, I got this and it just blew me away.
Is it life size?
It's no, it's third scale.
That's
but if you show I mean, it's unbelievable. And this is the one that actually has dentures and glass eyes.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just they did such an amazing job on this.
That's great. And who's this? Is this Prime Studio? No, who is it?
No, that's J&D. So J&D does the silicon. They do the ones with the silicon portraits.
Yeah.
That's the same one that's doing the Kyle, right?
The which one?
What's her name? Kyle from Batman? What's her name? Jesus.
Oh, Selena Kyle, yes.
Selena Kyle, yes.
So J&D is doing the standing Selena Kyle. And then of course Queen Studios is doing that third one on the bike, right? On the Bat Pod.
Mm-hmm.
And so both of those are, the likeness on the Queen one is amazing too, but it's not silicon. It's sculpted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you would think it's silicon.
They started off with silicone, right? The first ones they did. I mean, that's what kind of got Queen Studios noticed was the surgical silicone they were using.
For their busts, for their life-size busts, right?
Yeah, but that's how they started, though. That was the first things they produced, right? Yeah. That is nuts, though. Wow.
So Johnny's posting. So Gabe, you want me to send you the pictures because I got the Wonder Woman too. He's asking about the Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Let me send you the pictures of that.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Johnny's like, wait, it's more than just Star Wars. Oh yeah, I mean most of us, once you really get down to it, I mean Star Wars is just one of our obsessions, right? I mean everybody here, like Lee, name what other franchise stuff do you have? You have a ton.
Back to the Future 2, the best Back to the Future movie. That's for you, Michael.
I hope Michael's not watching that.
Tron, Marvel, Blade Runner. What else is there? I don't know. I have one Batman thing, I guess.
Do you? What do you have?
Yeah, I've got that Beast Kingdom, that memorial piece that was in the last Batman movie, right?
Yeah.
Right at the end of the movie. It looks very similar to that one that Joseph got. It's very similar to that, but it's bronze looking. It's the same. It's the statue that's in the movie.
So
you don't have that, Gabe? I thought you had that.
No, wait, no, I don't have that one. No, I don't have. I mean, the only Batman thing I have is my old
Batman 89.
No, superpowers.
Gabe, this is the Joker, the J&D Joker.
All right, give me a second.
And then I'm going to send you the Wonder Woman, because that one is pretty amazing too. Okay, here it is.
You're going to be sad when I say this, Gabe, because this is from the best Batman movies.
What are the best Batman movies? Oh, is that the Nolan ones? The newer ones?
Yeah. So it's the Dark Knight Memorial one. This the one that's at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's not bad.
It's only like $200, dude. Yeah. It's pretty decent size. Look.
Yeah. All right. Joseph is sending me all the pictures. We'll go through them right now.
Okay. Yeah, these J&D pieces just every time I open one of these, they blow me away.
Yeah, it's impressive. Huh?
Yeah. This one actually, this was a hard one to set up, right? Because there's so much clothing layered on there. And, you get it out and you kind of adjust everything, adjust the tie, the shirt, the pants. I mean, everything's real. It's crazy. And then, the hair and all of it. It took me a couple of hours to get it all set up, but
you did it.
Do you have to take this one to the stylist?
No. I haven't gone to a stylist yet. I'm getting much better, though. You should see me with my brush, the comb, and the water bottle that I'm squirting on there.
Scrappy Coco.
Yes, exactly. Gabe, there's a close-up of that one, too, to just kind of give you an idea.
Yeah,
I have a couple. Oh, okay.
No, sorry. I was trying to set something up on my phone, but there it is. Oof.
There's beautiful. A side view, too, that's just like, you can see like the pores in his skin. It's crazy. Yeah.
And how much do they stuff run?
How much do they start?
Oh yeah, what do they run? I've never purchased anything from these guys, so I've never.
They're anywhere between $2,000 and $2,500, depending on the complexity of the piece. And then they came out with one that was like it's the Christian Bale and as Bruce Wayne and Batman, both of them on the same base.
That's Batman.
Yes, that dual one is like $3,500.
When you think about it, though, if they're $2,500 and a sideshow one is around $1,500, I mean, for the difference in $1,000, I mean, look at that. I mean,
yeah, look at that.
So that's a no-brainer to me.
This is insane. The detail is insane. Wait till you see the Wonder Woman too. I think that's
where do you put in this one?
So these I think I'm gonna put them in the movie room. I'm gonna line them all up. I got a console to put them all together, and then I'm gonna put glass cover cases over each one. So they're kind of stand.
Why did you get one big cover for all of them?
Like a fish tank cover?
Yeah.
I could, but it's really heavy, you know, to do something like that.
Yeah, you gotta kind of separate. And then here's look at this. I mean,
yeah, zoom in on that. Zoom in on it. It's crazy.
I gotta open it up in preview real quick. Hold on.
Okay. And the armor on that one, it's fantastic.
That's bonkers.
I mean, yeah. Even like little birthmark.
Is that little mole or whatever?
Yeah, wow. It's a mole. Yeah.
Wow.
Even the eyebrows are rooted hair. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I could see you taking the picture in the.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I sent you a couple more where you can see her hair. The way her hair is and the body. I mean, it's amazing. I absolutely love their pieces, and yeah, I can't get. It's almost like I can't. Can't get enough of those.
Yeah.
They have. So the ones that are out are the Wonder Woman, the Joker, the Selena Kyle, which is en route to me right now. I'm tracking it. The Harley Quinn, and then they're going to be releasing the ones that have gone for pre-order but haven't been released yet are the Dark Knight trilogy, Christian Bale as Christian Bale, and then Batman, and then the most recent The Batman with Pattinson, and as Bruce Wayne and as Batman.
Yeah.
And then they also did Mira from Aquaman, who I know people have mixed feelings about the actress, right?
Does it come with a little bit of poop?
Oh, yeah.
You're
So I know. Well,
you're gonna have to get a Jack Sparrow one and put it.
I'll tell you. Say what you will about the actress and about the character, but they did. I mean, it looks exactly like her. The likeness is amazing. It just looks so lifelike. And the next one I think they're doing is the Henry Cavill Superman.
Crazy. It's unbelievable. Like how
Yeah.
like because you can't appreciate it. Like when you see a picture like this, the light kind of washes it out and
Yeah.
detail. It
Do
kind
the
of.
eyes look a little? Is that me, or do the eyes look a little off? Like, does it look off in person, Joseph?
No, it doesn't. She's
Okay.
looking to the side because her body is kind of is turned kind of at an angle when you're looking at it from the front, and then she's looking at you out of the corner of her eye. So it's
God.
it's amazing. It's an amazing piece, and it's too bad the movie sucked. But
Yeah, are they gonna do one of the first movie? Because
I wish they had decided to do her in her regular armor.
Yeah, if they did that, and then you could choose to put the cloak on or off. Remember when she's
Yes.
at the?
Is this the same company that did the Wagner one, the original?
No, that was Blitzway and Prime One. That was they did a collaboration and they produced that one. But that's also in third scale, but it's not silicon. All of J&D's pieces are silicon portraits in 1/3 scale, which is kind of crazy. The only other company that I think that's doing that is Queen. They're doing 1/6 scale figures with silicon portraits now. That's their in-art line. And then they also did that half scale Captain America, the Chris Evans one. And that has a silicon portrait. That one was the one at San Diego Comic-Con, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that looks amazing.
That one did look good.
Yeah.
Queen Studios? Yeah.
It was Queen. Yeah, they did a half scale. And it wasn't unreasonable. I think it was like $2,000 for a half scale statue with a silicon portrait.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, that Vader was more than that, and it's not silicone.
Yeah.
Half scale.
Yeah, if Queen or if J&D gets a license to do Star Wars, it's going to be insanity.
Every time now, the only bad thing about this last, Comic-Con is now I have it ingrained in my head. Whenever I hear the word Queen Studios, I think of PJ just yelling at like some kids or some like person like, "Hey, no touching the statues!" Freaking out. He's like, "I just fixed the hair on this," and he's like refixing it and styling it, and it was like every other like minute I was like talking to him, and all of a sudden a new person like, "Hey, no touching." Like,
that's hilarious. So by the way, Johnny made a comment in the live chat, and that's a good point. So Infinity Studios that are known for doing their life-size busts, just like Queen, right? That's the one I have that Bruce Lee from them, which is amazing.
Their Gal Gadot wasn't as good.
Did you
see? And that's the thing. It's like each one kind of has their strengths. But Infinity is also now doing half scale, or I can't remember the scale. Maybe it's half scale from Lord of the Rings, and they're doing silicon portraits, I think.
Yeah.
Or are those Queen? I can't remember now.
I don't know.
But Infinity does the
Queen Studios got Lord of the Rings, do they? they've got Aliens. I'm hoping they do the dog from Aliens 3.
Well, they have a Back to the Future license.
Queen Studio does?
Studios?
Queen Studios does.
What?
I don't know what for. I should ask PJ. I don't know if it's for life-size busts, for props. I don't know.
I wouldn't want a life-size bus. That would
Yeah,
freak me out having a life-size Marty and Doc. That'd be weird.
Did you do that now? Like, what if it had like the Back to the Future 2 jacket?
Nope.
Yeah.
That'd be weird, dude. Having that in your house, that would freak me out.
Well, I can tell you that Bruce Lee bust, I have it downstairs, and every time my wife walks down the stairs, she just about pees herself. It freaks her out.
I've always said, man, these life-size busts of faces, it's so creepy to me.
Yeah.
In the pictures you sent me, but I don't know if you sent it to.
You want me to send? I can send you. Do you want the Bruce Lee?
Yeah, let's look at that Bruce Lee since we're talking about these realistic statues. And then
the Bruce Lee, it's pretty insane. Here it is. I'll send you the pictures.
Yeah, because look, here's the thing. I'm actually a fan. I'm a fan of like these comic book statues. Like, I love them. If I had space for them, trust me, they would be littered all over. But obviously I can't. But every time I see Joseph's collection, I'm like, man, I want that. Like remember that Mega Man? Actually, I have it right.
Yes. So I didn't get that one.
These are special, man.
I would get this. Like, and again, if I, just had my own like
that thing is massive.
Nerd home like Lee.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I would dedicate one room just to like.
This is my own. I just have my stuff in one room.
Do you? Is it you limited to one room? Yeah, right. You have it all over. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Batman is actually in my son's room. I don't know how he'd feel about that. But there's going to be a few more pieces going in there because I don't have the room, man.
Gabe, did you get them?
Yes.
Okay.
There it is. Whew, man, that thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Right, look at
this is insane. This is absolutely insane. It's the best. It's the best likeness I've ever seen in a bust. All due respect to Queen Studios, but Infinity knocked this out of the park.
All right. So this is obviously up far away, but look at, just like the bruised knuckles.
Yeah.
Like the hair on the knuckles, even like the nails, like a little chipped right there on the pinky.
Yep. Yeah. Some of these are just.
Marcel, yeah, I do.
I think I have a couple of close-ups of the face. They actually.
Did you have to brush his hair also?
I had to. Yeah. So that one. So just a note here. That one actually has hair punched in his face, and then they shaved it.
That's crazy. They did that.
So that stubble is real. It's not paint.
Look at that. Just all the pores. Like, it's like they almost casted it from his face.
On his face, yeah.
So the thing about the hair is that the hair, when the way it was packed in the box, when it came out of there, the back side kind of had like bed head.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all got hairspray in it, a lot of hairspray. So actually I just took a spray bottle and spritzed a bunch of water in there. That's what the instructions say to do. And then I just took a comb and I combed it out to shape it like the rest of the hair, and then it rehardened, and then that was it. It came out perfect.
Does this look good from every angle, Joseph?
It does. It does. See, that's the thing with these busts and with statues. A lot of the time, the likeness is great from one angle.
Profile.
Yeah, it'll be good from one angle and not from another, but this looks good from every angle. And the reason that the photos don't come out the greatest is because, camera phones, they tend to distort stuff a little bit depending on how close you are to the object. So I don't like taking pictures with my camera phone, but
and we talked about this. I think it's also the harsh lighting, right? Because it's, you have the open windows, you have the regular lights on top, you have all that. So it's kind of maybe overlit. And I think if you were to if the lights were dim,
Yeah.
you'd appreciate all the little dents, all the little.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My lighting is not that the room is not lit for displaying stuff, right? I mean, it's just a big rec room. And I would love to be able to photograph stuff better than I do.
Yeah.
That's when I need Ben Bowman to fly over here and photograph everything.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yeah.
So that one I got specifically to put in the movie room.
Yeah.
Just to have movie related busts. So all the busts are going to go out there.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Who gave me that idea?
I have no idea.
Yeah. The problem is that once you told me that, I started buying a lot more busts.
Yeah, I know exactly where I'm going
to have to cycle them. That's what you're going to have to do.
Can we look at that security camera setup you got back there? Who did that for you?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the detention. Well, here, let me pull it up.
Or is it not?
It's big.
I thought you was wearing a Star Trek shirt for a second. Then when I saw the neck on that thing you're wearing, I thought it was a Picard thing. That's cool.
That is really cool.
So this is actually from a gentleman in France who does he does the machine metal greeblies for this, and he does the back plate. So you can mount all of these. So these are 6 these are actually vintage Patterson Trident viewers. And
are you going to put that up on the wall like a security camera?
So I think I am going to do that. It's not finished yet. I still have to put there's a lot. Okay, so there are a couple of things. The background on this, it's made up of 6 Patterson Trident viewers, but the viewers that were used in the movie.
This whole thing.
Yeah. The viewers that they actually used for the prop, they painted them. So they're one solid color. They're not these two-tone pieces, but a lot of people leave them as the two-tone bare plastic, right? To just show the original vintage viewers. So I got this from him, but it's not finished. And I still need to add the red and yellow and the blue LED buttons that go on the top, and then all the stickers and stuff. But I'm actually working with Cameron from Tashi Station Props. And we got what we did is because I don't like painting these things, right? Because they're vintage. So what we did is we got an old one. I took it to John Geigel of Masterpiece Models. He tore it apart and he casted it. So he casted a resin duplicate. And then he casted the lenses in clear. And so now I'm sending all those to Cam, and he's just going to sand them, finish them, paint them the blue color that's in the movie, and recreate the whole thing.
Wait, Joseph, why are you doing a run of this, Joseph?
Yeah,
why are you hoarding this?
Why am I
are you hoarding this technology? Not technology.
I'm not. So here's the thing. So here's what I was going to tell you. So the deal was, I got the viewer. Cameron got one. I got one. We gave them to John Geigel. The deal was he gives us a couple of sets, but he is now going to be producing these. So you can buy them from him. The resin casts, and you can make your own, and you can buy the back plate, the backing plate, and all the metal greeblies from Super Green Props. Is the guy in France who does these. He's on RPF, but he has a website called Super Green Props, and you can buy all this stuff. You can put the resin pieces together, paint them, and you can light them up and make your own. If you go to Tashi Station Props Instagram, you'll see the one he just finished, and it's beautiful.
That's the guy we met at
and that's a cat. Right? It's the resin one.
No, the one he did, he took vintage ones and painted them. But let me put it this way: the resin casts are so good that the sticker that's on that thing, you can actually read the print of the sticker. It came out in the resin casts. That's how detailed these casts are.
Well,
and the lenses are optically clear. Yeah, that's it. That's the one that Cameron just finished.
And how much are these resin kits?
I don't know how much he's charging for them because I just got the first set. I just picked it up a couple of days ago. I don't know if it's even on his website yet, but it will be. And when it's on there, you can order them. You just order six of the. I don't know if he's going to sell them individually or as sets of 6. But
how wide is that, Joseph?
It's really big. It's a lot bigger than you would think.
22, 24 inches?
No, not 20. I would say it's about.
Well, you've got a measuring thing on your table there, right?
I have a measurement thing, yeah. I would say, so it's about 15 inches wide.
Okay.
It's a lot bigger than you would think because when you see it in the movie, it's up in the corner on the wall, right? And it's in the distance and it looks small. But these things
are trying to see if there's a corner I could throw something like that up in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really cool piece. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got this too. Lee, you'll appreciate this.
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool.
That's machined brass. It's really heavy.
What are you doing with that? Is that like a badge to wear or something?
No, this is the belt buckle that the priest wears from Fifth.
The monk or whatever he was.
Yeah. But I have to the one in the film, the lines are black. They're dirty, right? So I got to weather this thing up and get because
are you going to wear that then?
Huh?
Are you going to wear that?
No, I'm going to put it in the display case.
Why not? You wear your Star Trek uniform with pride.
And if a cop ever pulls you over, you're like, multi-pass.
You
hand them your license, but like in the little multi-pass.
I'm a priest. Yeah. Yeah, Lee, you're lucky. I didn't wear my Star Trek uniform tonight.
It looked like the collar looked like, and then you turned around and I seen the seam down the shoulder. I was like, he's wearing a Trekkie outfit.
No, I got my Wrath of Khan uniform.
Well, go put it on. Let's see it.
I'm not putting it on.
Come on.
No, the problem is that I got the jacket, but I don't have the undershirt, with the white ribbed collar.
Yeah.
I don't have that yet. So I don't, I can't really wear just the jacket.
Where are you wearing this to?
To my bedroom at night, Lee.
Oh. I thought you had some Wrath of Khan thing that you was attending or some anniversary, right?
Well, so the hold on one second here.
How do you know him from Wales?
So the one that I was going to
it's Wales with Wales, no H, just outside of Cardiff.
Okay.
I was asked the Star Wars bloke. I don't know. He must be from the UK to know that I'm from Wales. With no H.
The Wrath of Joseph XXX. Yeah. No, that's that.
I think the Star Wars bloke's in Australia, I want to say.
Oh, right? Okay.
So Lee,
that could be
the guy I think you're talking about is Wonderfest. I should have worn it to Wonderfest because Nicholas Meyer was there.
Oh, okay.
And Nicholas Meyer is the writer and director of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
He is from Australia.
Yeah.
What time is it in Australia? Are they like 16 hours ahead? Something like that? Oh, it's like Sunday morning, right? Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, yeah, you think? 12 hours?
Yeah. Well, it's like 16 hours ahead, aren't they? Something close to that. What's the time where you're at? Star Wars bloke? Geezer?
It's like in the middle of the day there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like noon, right? Something like that.
He's in the future. He's a time traveler. Or are we?
One on a Sunday Arvo. That means afternoon for you Americans in the Arvo.
That means what?
Arvo means the afternoon.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So 1:20 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Oh, there's more than one.
What?
Choose Trevor Gibbs. Is he any relation to the Andy Gibb? To the
Also from
Bee
Australia.
Gees? They're
Oh.
from Australia.
Are they the Bee Gees? Really?
Yeah, the Bee Gees were from Australia.
I didn't know that. I thought they were like New Jersey or something. Like just
No. I think they were from Australia. Yeah.
And Midnight Oil.
Yeah. Armando says he's in the future, and we're in the present time. So we don't want to mess. We don't. That question you just asked Lee about and him writing that just changed the whole course of our timeline.
That's right. That's
By
right.
him typing that right now,
Change the future.
our timeline is just completely.
So are we now variants now? Is that what we consider?
Oh my God.
Right, somebody's gonna come to your door right now.
Yeah, the TMVU, whatever they call it. What
Exactly.
Oh geez.
And we're like, you're on your
variant police, whatever they are.
for messing with the timeline. See, this is a rare occasion when we can geek out with like Marvel references and
Mhm.
other references.
Yeah,
like
because Michael would be like, huh? What you guys are talking about? I don't watch any of that junk.
Right.
yeah,
I
that's
can't believe he hasn't watched the Marvel movies, like at least the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
It's so good. But
The-
I can't
up
speak
until
to the new
Endgame.
ones, but the
Yeah.
first 10 years, man. it's-
so two questions for you guys. Okay, are you
Uh-huh.
guys gonna go watch Rogue One in IMAX? I got my tickets. I'm going on Saturday.
I saw it 3 times in the cinema, regular cinema, and then
Yeah.
1 time in IMAX. So I've seen it 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel the need.
Again at the movies in IMAX.
No,
I've
I
seen
will
it
tell
4
you, I'm probably not gonna go. I saw it in IMAX before, but
Yeah.
I will tell you this: the movie that I regret not going to see in IMAX.
Dune.
No, Top Gun Maverick.
That's what everyone keeps telling me. I didn't see it
It's
Let me
still
tell
in the
you,
theater,
that
Gabe.
movie,
Gabe,
know.
it's still in the theater.
in IMAX though.
it's not in IMAX though. That's the problem. I went too late.
No.
So
Did you
Yeah.
see Dune? Did you see Dune in IMAX?
I watched.
I
it.
did. I saw it in IMAX.
That is a major regret. I didn't do that.
It was fantastic. I mean, visually, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously the sound, right? I mean, the sound was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go. But it's funny. I ended up spending almost like $100 on tickets. Right? I'm like, the whole family's gonna go. I don't care. I'm gonna take everybody. And
You haven't even bought candy yet, or any popcorn. So that's like $300.
no, so then I find out that my family, they're going to be going to Disneyland because I have some other family members that are going to be in town going to Disneyland, and here's the thing, I'm actually banned from Disneyland for almost a month. Me personally.
Wait, because
Why?
of Disney or from Andy?
No, because so there's this weird thing with our passes, so that if you have 3 no-shows, then you get like punished, and you go into like Disney
I'm out.
pass jail. So I'm in
Oh my God.
So this last week we went up to Disneyland, and I dropped off my family, and then I went to go pick up some cases from Efren that I had made, and
Right.
so on my way back I didn't go to Disneyland. So that was my 3rd ding, and now I'm banned until I think September something. So anyway, so I just found that out. So I guess I'm gonna go by myself. Or
Are you gonna be okay, Gabe? Are you gonna be having like Disney withdrawals or something?
Gabe, I don't know how you're gonna handle that.
no, and we just renewed our passes. So there's this whole thing, right? They barely released the pass renewal because they were holding off on it, and I never looked at it in real dollars, right? I always just like, oh, whatever. We do it in monthly payments, like whatever. But we just renewed our passes, and it was like $6,800, and I was just like, wait, what? Is that how much we're
Wow.
spending on Disneyland tickets a year? Like,
Crazy.
holy crap! I didn't realize it was that much because we do a monthly payment, but I mean, even that, like our monthly payment's like $500 because
What? That's a car
That's
payment.
insane.
That is insane, dude. Wow. So does
yeah.
this mean
That's
the relationship between the Estradas and Disney is over?
No, we renewed it. We're back in. We're just
oh,
here you
geez.
go. Here's our money, Disney.
Gabe, the amount that you go there and advertise their stuff, they should be giving you free passes.
Well, and that's the thing. Like there was this whole like just kind of backlash against Disney because they were, they made it super hard for these pass holders to renew because there's just this impression that they don't want pass holders, like that they don't care about the pass holders, that they're just kind of like, oh, they're more of a nuisance because they just fill the parks up and all that stuff. And because obviously they know how much money they're basically going to make from the passes from the get go. But
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure they have to realize that every time we go, we spend at least $200 on food and at least another $200 on like merchandise. Yeah, pretty much every time, right? And especially with the,
So you're roughly giving Disney $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
possibly, yeah. No,
it's great.
it's crazy,
Wow.
but that's
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's yeah.
the
All I
problem.
can say about that, I'm
My
not living.
kids better grow up with like saying they had the best childhood ever, or else I'm gonna be real pissed and be like,
Yeah,
you realize how many times we took you to Disneyland?
Gabe,
Sean said he's not
the
renewing
first,
his pass.
yeah,
Sean
Sean's
said
not
he's not
renewing.
renewing his pass.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just saw
The
that.
the first time I ever went to Disneyland, Gabe, was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I never went as a child. I had never been my whole life, and then I just went several years ago because my wife had wanted to go her whole life and couldn't, obviously being in Syria. So I took her and we went, and it was fun, but I was like, I don't know, I might be missing something here, because I think you have to have that nostalgia as a child, going to Disneyland and all that.
Well, I could never go either. My parents could never afford it. And when my son, what was he, 3 or 4, we took him to the one in Paris because it was, just get the channel, right? And you were there. So that was, I didn't go till I was like 24, 25.
Well, and the crazy thing about too, like, so it's not just me, right? Obviously, it's my wife's a big Disney fan, and she grew up. Yeah, I mean, not going all the time, but I mean, we're in Southern California, so that she at least went a lot more. I was in Northern California growing up. But I want to show you, and this is just a small part, and I'm going to send it.
By the way, happy anniversary to you and Andy.
Oh, yes.
Everybody that didn't know out there.
Yesterday. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Thank you. 17 years, man.
I think it's a wonderful cooking that's kept you guys together, Gabe.
So check this out. So this is my wife's. My wife has her collection. Kind of, she puts them out like bouquets of flowers, like in these cool little like wooden boxes, and she has them on all like our sofa tables and our our
wait, Andy's collection is all over the house, but Gabe's collection is limited to only that room.
Right? I mean, what the hell? Right? That's what I'm saying, right?
We're getting him all kinds of trouble, right?
Every single one of these little boxes is filled, obviously, to the brim with the Minnie Mouse ears. And you got to remember, I mean, each one of these ears is what, $40, right? I mean, and this isn't even all of them. But it looks nice, and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Like when someone walks in, instead of seeing a big bouquet of flowers, it's like they see this big bouquet of like Minnie Mouse ears, and they're just all over the house, and it looks nice. And every time we go, my kids just go run around the house looking for which ears they're gonna wear, and so it's kind of cool. You got to remember, I'm in a house all full of girls, right? It's 3 daughters, and
outnumbered and outgunned, son.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see them, run around and looking for that every time we go. So again, look, I'm not gonna say I don't go to Disney, or me and my wife go for us, because we used to go before we had kids. We had annual passes before we had kids.
So the kids go free, right? Because the pass is only for you and the wife, right?
No.
Really?
We have 5 passes,
Oh.
and that's why it's so expensive. Yeah.
Wow. So the oldest one, you get her a pass too?
The what?
The oldest one, you get her a pass too?
Well, yeah, and she doesn't go all that often, right? 'Cause she's in college and all that, so
Right.
she doesn't utilize it as much. But I mean, I wanted her to be able to try that, right? Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, you can't come because you don't have a pass, right? So,
Yeah.
but no, after 2 years old, and trust me, my kids, stayed 2 years old until like 4 years old, but it gets to a point where they
I hope the
Sticking
mouse
it to
is
the mouse.
it gets to a point where they're at the gate and they're like, wait, how old is she? And they're like, well, she's 2. She's gonna be 2 in October. And she's like freaking grown ass kid. So but yeah, it gets to a point where you can't go around it. So yeah,
That's insane. You pay that much a month in Disney fees. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So do you get Disney Plus for free?
We signed up for Disney Plus when it first launched at D23 back right before the pandemic. So I think it just expired. So it was a 3-year for like whatever, $2 a month or something. So we just finished. So now I think we're paying regular price now. But we did have a little discount for a while. Yeah,
they're bumping that up, I heard, in the new year too, I think.
CT603, welcome, man.
Welcome.
Yeah. A little bit different. We're usually talking Star Wars, but
they're all enablers. Be careful, they're gonna spend your money.
Speaking of spending money, there was another drop this morning.
There was, yeah.
It was. And it was I think something that a lot of people have been wanting for a long time.
Yeah, somebody actually even mentioned on here, right? And it was one of the NYC statues.
It's a vehicle replica, but basically it's a statue of an ATST.
Yeah,
and
I'm curious who in the chat got one, who picked one up, because I know there was 100 of them, right? But he sold out of them like
100 of the 24th scale, and then what scale was the collector?
He did the other one. I don't know what the scale is. It's 25 inches tall. It's really big. They called it a collector's scale, but I don't know
what size was that run. Did that sell out too?
That was 80, and it sold out.
So both of them he sold.
So
both of them sold out.
180 units he sold out, like
in a few seconds, probably a few minutes.
Yeah, right. Because I remember I looked at social media like 9 something my time, and around that time is when he posted that it was all sold out. So it had to have been like
11 o'clock. I think that's my time that they went on.
Yeah, so 9. Yeah,
so noon Florida time, right?
That's noon Florida time. And the pieces are really, I got the Probe Droid recently, which was gorgeous. They did a great job on that. I know the Snow Speeder is in production. The Vader TIE Fighter went out. Lee, you got that one, right?
What's that, the TIE Fighter?
Yeah, the Vader TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really happy with that one.
I am. It's
I think for
what I paid for it, I can't complain at all.
I think for people who are want to get into the studio scale pieces but don't want to go through the process of commissioning someone to actually build them a model.
I'm paying some of the prices. and
the prices,
10 grand.
Exactly.
That's a lot of money, man. And I certainly wouldn't have that kind of cash to drop on a model.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Nobody, I don't think anybody's going to say that this is better than a studio model, right? Than a model that's built by a model maker. But for what you're paying, right? What you're getting is a statue of a vehicle. That's what it is, right? It's polystone. And it's, and then like for the Probe Droid, for example, there's no lighting in it. So, you can tell that there's no lighting in it. Yeah. See, so there's a big difference between that and like what you have, Lee, that half scale one with that, that's hollow, that you can put lights in it and you can motorize it and you can.
And it was only $1,500.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I think that's kind of one of those the situation, right? Is that some of these makers, are able to go directly to the factories and manufacture them themselves and kind of ship them out, right? Directly from there. And I guess the reason why I mentioned that is because so technically, because I deal in the the license world most of the time. EFX holds that license, right? EFX is the one that holds the license to make studio scales, to make props, things like that. And I know they have some in the works, right? They have some of these studio scale things in the works. So I'm very interested to kind of see and feel the pulse of the community, right? The collectors community, to see if, let's say, okay, somebody that got the studio scale size MYC 124 ATST. Let's say EFX came out with an ATST that you knew had direct lineage to all the parts, was casted from original model kits, with Lucasfilm license, certificate of authenticity. Who would either sell their MYC to get that, or who would get both, or who would?
I think A would happen a lot. I think you'd probably see a shit ton of them end up on eBay really fast.
Yeah. I personally, I would want the one with lineage.
Yeah.
That's licensed. But be aware, it would probably be very similar, right? Because they're getting manufactured in the same way, in the same country, maybe in a different factory.
I don't think it'd be manufactured the same way, though. No.
Yeah. But just remember, don't forget that what MYC is doing is not unlike the master replicas, Falcon, AT-AT. Those were manufactured, mass-produced in China. They weren't models built by model makers.
No, I understand that part, but I don't think it's like a 3D resin print, right? Like,
well, the master replicas Falcon is a polystone. I think it's polystone, isn't it? It's very heavy.
Yeah.
Is it polystone?
I think it is.
Man, that must be fragile as hell.
And it's heavy. It's very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's all polystone, because obviously the pipes and stuff that go on the outside, that's not. But I know that the piece itself is, I think, resin, the body.
Right.
And that's why it doesn't have a lot of the detail lighting, right? The engines are lit. And then in the cockpit, they actually just have a cardboard print on the back wall. And then they just have light shining through it from the back end.
You're talking about the master replicas one.
The master replicas one. And then EFX did a couple of vehicles, right? They did the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing, and those were produced in China. They weren't.
And the Falcon they did. And I regret selling mine. I wish I never sold that. But at the time, I didn't have anything as the only model I had like that. It just looked so out of place.
Yeah.
But I wish I kept it. I really do.
Now,
anybody from EFX is listening, still have one? I'll buy one.
I know. So yeah, that's why I was really curious, because again, the demand is out there. It's obvious. Right. They sold 180 units like in a split second, right? Yeah. I'm kind of curious because look, here's the bottom line is, like, the EFX prices, right, retail, are not that much more than that. Actually, maybe cheaper, right?
Well,
than that.
When they made the TIE Fighter, it was $9.99.
Yeah.
And but here's the thing. They dropped the ball. They made the TIE Fighter, they made the X-Wing, and then the Falcon, that die-cast one that they made, it was a small one, and it took many years, between the Red 5 and that TIE Fighter and that Millennium Falcon. There were many years between those two. Meanwhile, every year they used to show those pieces at San Diego Comic-Con and Celebration, and and I would watch the tested videos. Steve, right? Steve Neeson,
Yeah.
talking about the Y-wing and how he's finding all these parts and how it's very accurate. And I would be like, when are they releasing that? When are they releasing that for
I think
pre-order?
from the
And they never
rumblings
did.
I'm hearing, or Joseph, I think that with Brian's passing, I think a lot of this stuff is going to change.
Well, I hope they get back into it because there's certainly a market for it. Now, I don't
With
know.
the devil.
Oh, there's Steve. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Tessa,
I think
I
it's going to
I
be.
used to watch you on those tested videos, and I'd be thinking, when are they gonna finally release that for pre-order? And I waited years and years and years, and it never happened.
So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to kind of pose that question to to the community, and because it sounds like a lot of our viewers here today got the ATST. So I'm kind of curious, right? So if they got the ATST through MYC, would it be a situation where let's just say something that they've already got, or like the Vader ship, like the X1, right? Is it X1 or X3? Yeah, X1.
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 Yeah.
Like if a licensed company where it's going to be exactly as is, direct lineage with original parts. Do you think MYC is kind of stepping on that market where now the people that would have bought that through EFX are not going to buy it through EFX because they bought the MYC, or
I think it will be a mad dash to eBay. Who can get theirs listed first?
you think?
Yes.
I think some people will. It'll depend on pricing. It'll depend on the pricing. It'll depend on if there's a visible difference. Like, yeah, to me, maybe it's important, right? To someone
I think
who's
to most people it's important too, though.
well,
Honestly.
I mean, yeah, but some people will look and they'll see, like, they'll look at the Vader X1. You have the Vader X1. You like it. It's reasonably accurate from what from what you can tell, right? Like, you may not be able to tell if you have the like a studio accurate one in the
Right.
MYC.
I haven't gone through it all, but the markup pricing on these stuff from MYC, I guarantee you, if let's for example say EFX announces they're doing the X1, you could sell that MYC one that would cover that cost.
But do you think people would buy it? Like, that's the thing. Like, do you think there's a market? First of all,
Yes.
would there be a residual market for MYC?
Yes.
Because I think people would offload what they have because they know they could get more than they paid for it. And they would cover the cost of having an official one.
And don't forget, there are MYC collectors out there.
Yeah.
People who, because look, let's face it, you have a Master Replicas Falcon, Gabe. I have a Master Replicas Falcon. I will never sell my Master Replicas Falcon because it's a Master Replicas piece. The D'Agostini Falcon is more accurate than that. No. And if you get it built by a model builder who can really paint it, it'll look 100 times better than the Master Replicas Falcon with the lighting and the detail and the cockpit detail.
It's not the Master Replicas one.
But it's not a Master Replica.
These lightsabers, dude, they're not 100% accurate from Master Replicas. But I won't sell them.
Exactly. So there's, I think there's that. You've got to consider that.
Well, I would, yeah. If that happens,
I think it's also
get ready on eBay. Just have the photos in your phone ready to go to upload them.
Well, and again, but that's a really good. I mean, honestly, a discussion to have, right? Because again, we're
thank Steve for this T-shirt too.
Yeah.
It's a good discussion to have because again, as this void exists, right, with collectibles, right? Where EFX was on the slow side, pulling them out, obviously, Solo Fett right here is that, the Han Solo dice, even just something as silly as these little dice that, they were giving out for free at AMC theaters on the day of the Solo release, right? Like I have a set right here. I mean, little things like that. do you guys think that there's the confidence of a brand kind of got lost there? And if they were to announce, all this whole line of new products and studio scale, would everyone? And I want to hear from the viewers. Would you guys still be kind of in the market?
I think they've got quite a bit of work to do to reestablish confidence in consumers. And the way they're going to have to do that is they've got to put the Biker Scout out. That has to happen. They have to make that right. The dice need to come out. The Dark Ray Saber needs to go out. I'm
If
sure
all that stuff
you've
comes
ordered
out,
that, Joseph, right?
Yeah, I had that on order.
Okay.
If they fulfill all back orders,
yes, if they do exactly what a Novos did, take care of that part of it, so people so they can say we're back, guys.
yeah.
And then start doing it. But I think the first thing that's my personal opinion.
Well, Lee, you're right.
Make those things right first.
Well, they have an opportunity now.
Yes.
Because they can do under new leadership, essentially, they can try to fulfill all those back orders like what Denuo Novo did, right? Yes. For a Novo.
Yes.
And that will build a huge amount of confidence in the company again.
Yeah.
To make new orders.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So this is the thing. I've been talking to Steve and a couple of the other people involved in EFX, and this is that. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is being produced. It's just they've had endless issues trying to get it done, and I don't know how proactive, Brian was in doing that. I mean, there are a lot of issues with dealing with China, and a lot of delays, and a lot of problems, and so I mean, we're not privy to all that.
No, but I think Brian's failings ultimately over the years has been his lack of communication. I think that's what he fell short. If he'd have kept people in the loop, it would have stopped people from drawing their own conclusions, right?
That's part of the problem. And Novos was the same way. They didn't communicate well with.
So I think if they move forward in the fact that they do make right the orders that are existing, and then have this whole social media side of it where, hey, here's our prototypes, this is where we're at. I mean, because we enjoy seeing that stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the fun part of it. Because if you commission a build, I mean, how nice is it to get pictures from the build you're getting commissioned? I love that. That is so cool.
Exactly.
If they adopted that strategy, I think that would be awesome.
Right? Well, look, when Denuo Novo was formed, I can tell you the biggest A+ they got. I mean, aside from all of the, whispers of, well, how much of it is really just a Novos renamed, and is it the same people involved, et cetera, et cetera. I will tell you, the moment they announced Denuo Novo, every email I sent them, I got a response the same day. And they were very communicative, and they were very nice, and they were like, don't worry, we will address all of your orders. And I can tell you, of the 11 pre-orders I had with the Novos, I've already gotten 6 of them from Denuo Novo.
Yeah.
And that's all they need to do to restore confidence. That's keep people in the loop.
Yeah, makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And that's all they moving forward. I think it would be really easy at that point. Then I mean, because you've righted your wrong. You know what I mean?
I 100%. And I, similar to you guys, obviously, I've been in communication with them and kind of just trying to figure everything out that's going on. And I think, I think 100%, right? There needs to be some fixing to do, right? But look, here's the thing. And you guys can see on my social media, I've been posting a lot of EFX stuff. I have a lot of other stuff. So before that big kind of, I don't even, the dark times, right? Like where there's like this big gap where they weren't pumping out stuff. They did put out a lot of stuff, right? The phase 1 helmet, the loop helmet, the wedge helmet, the freaking, the Biker Scout LE. Yeah, it took a long time, but we got the LE.
We got that. That took 4 years.
Yeah,
we got the Thor helmet.
The Thor helmet.
So is the Biker Scout LE any different, Gabe, to the other one that they're doing?
Fiberglass.
It's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's exactly the same. I mean, there's no difference in the look of it other than it's fiberglass.
and it's
Oh
painted.
no,
The
it's
Legend's
clean.
gonna
Does it come with a pistol too, right?
supposed
No.
to. They're trying to figure. Well, they're trying to figure out the logistics. But yeah, the Legend.
I thought that one did come with a pistol.
It did the Legend, not the LE.
Not the L.
The Legend edition.
Yeah, the Legend is weathered and it's vacuum formed like the original, and it looks like the on-screen one, and it comes with the pistol. The limited,
that's the one I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
that the Legend edition.
yeah, and that's the problem, right? And that's the issue with the helmet. From my understanding of it, is that the fiberglass ones, the factories over there were churning out fiberglass helmets for years. They know how to do them. Anovos was making them. EFX was making them. Now you go to them and say, "Oh, we want a vacuum formed helmet," and the factory is like, "Yeah, we don't do that." And then you just get put on hold for years because it's not, it's not in their wheelhouse.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely more stuff, but okay, let's say they make it right. You get the helmets.
Steve said, "Put me on."
I did. I sent him the link.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm texting him right now. Okay. So they make everything right. Everything is right. Everything's back to everyone's even Steven. Again, going back to this because I'm very, very curious about that. If in fact MYC and Merlin models are taking away from their market share, right? Because here's the thing: EFX pays Lucasfilm hundreds of thousands of dollars for the right,
more than any of us make.
Yeah. Now, be aware, just for the viewers, those are two different things, right? MYC is designing statues that are vehicles or ships or whatever, right? And then they are producing them in a factory in China, and they are mass-produced pieces. Merlin is doing that with model kits, but if you want a finished piece from them, it's those guys that are doing it. They're assembling it, they're painting it. They're model makers who are making the models.
Oh, I've never bought anything from Merlin models.
Well, I just got
that I started going down this studio scale rabbit hole, which I said I would never do. Right? Hey,
what's up, fellas?
What's going
on?
Look at that.
What's that, a video game?
Yeah, it's a custom console I had made. It's my graphics on it's got 35,000 games on it.
What?
Awesome.
That's crazy. Every game you can imagine.
Oh, I like that thing that's behind your head there, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
The other way.
The other head.
The other way. The other way.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's there. Let me go.
That's right.
Look at that, baby.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very interesting conversations you guys were having tonight.
Yeah. I mean,
what's that?
What is that?
Oh, what is that?
Oh my goodness. This is a casting from the Return of the Jedi mold. This isn't a fan-made ATST one that they may have got a kid or something and made a copy of. This is the real deal, and this is what's coming in the future.
Steve, is that the one? Is that the one that you guys used to have on display at EFX?
Yes, sir. Yep.
What? The one that's another one I used to watch. And
Steve, why don't you introduce yourself? Because
introduce
a lot of these people probably don't know who you are.
Oh, I'm infamous, right? They should know who I am. Yeah, hey, I'm the model maker for EFX Collectibles. Still. And that's who I do. I've been making models since 90. Shoot, as a kid, I bought the Millennium Falcon kit when I was young, and there was something wrong with it, And so I started modifying it and cutting it down, extending the mandibles because it looked like something was wrong. So I've been doing it, years, and then RPF happened, and I was one of the first ones on the RPF back in the day, and we were looking for model kit parts back before the internet. I mean, once the internet hit, we had AOL. You dial up.
Man, you're old.
Yeah, I know. And here, check this
So,
out.
Steve, just to oh wow,
That is
yeah.
a casting from the original mold of the actual foot. This has been sent to China officially already, and it's going to be a die cast release to match the Falcon that they did that you guys talked
Nice.
about earlier.
Talking of that, have you got any of those kicking around anyway? Those die-cast Falcons?
The what? Oh, you know,
Kicking
I don't
around.
know about that. I kind of like Gabe I'm not an official spokesperson for EFX. I'm just a model maker. So I'm just showing you some of the stuff that we're working on. And for whatever reason, the stuff that we would display never got into production. And I'm not one to here to apologize for anything, because I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on that no one understands.
Yeah.
But I think we could clear, if you want to ask some questions about how the pipeline works. I think, Gabe, you kind of talked about how it all works the last show, but I can tell you as an artist and a model maker, how frustrating it is that you stand in front of your creation that you've spent, I mean, hundreds of hours, thousands of dollars and just see it set. And you don't want to show it again because you don't know when it's going to be produced, but the fans are excited about it. And,
Yeah.
you know,
And
it's really,
that's been the tough part over the years, Steve, right? Is seeing these things on display.
I like
And,
my towel I got down there. How you like that? Huh?
well, there you go. Johnny asked, would EFX ever do a 5-foot Falcon?
That's funny you said that. Well, we had pretty good success with the Star Destroyer, even at that crazy price tag that they had to put on it.
Okay, so Steve, before you say anything further, someone made a comment just before you jumped on. They asked that Solo Fet 72. I haven't seen anyone do a review of the EFX Star Destroyer for 16K. Did anyone buy one?
Yeah, we sold 5. And,
yeah.
You know, Singapore, the East Coast, West Coast, and I think we did one in Canada. But yeah, they're exact. I mean, they're squared away. You know, they were delivered. There's one guy that wanted it to hang from a ceiling, and we couldn't authorize that because it's such a large model and it's not built to be suspended. Mm-hmm. So instead of just refunding his money and one of our artists has actually built a custom armature for it to where it has to be approved and all that stuff. And then where we run into problem with that is if Lucasfilm doesn't want us to hang stuff from, we can't. I mean, it's not that easy. Like, hey, I want to do like you guys were talking the Darth Vader TIE fighter. I have after the Vader TIE finally came back to the archive. And so we had a plan to go get the Slave One scan, the Vader TIE, and we just do. I'm looking at you guys in the booth, so I mean, I don't know where I'm supposed to look, but we have plans for all that. Then Brian passed, and it just shocked us to the core. You know, it's like we know we have a hurdle, and I say we as me as a model maker. I have all these models sitting in the wings with the wanting to do more and more. And with the new leadership that's coming to EFX, I can assure everyone that's listening, their primary, and I could speak on this just because I know, their primary goal is to satisfy all outstanding orders first.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
And
right.
Awesome. I saw the dice. The dice are done. There was a mess up, but Brian was a perfectionist, right? He wanted to make sure that if he was to do it, that it was going to, be the right thing. So,
and you, like you said, the Biker Scout Legend is done. And I mean, I'm not gonna say I may have or may not have seen, the final product, but it's coming, right? I think
I don't. Okay, so let's say the first thing we like the process, so folks can understand. I'll use the Y-wing. Is that okay, guys? Can I talk about the Y-wing?
Okay, so
yes, please.
Let's say a Y-wing, yes.
All right, the Gold Leader Y-wing. We wanted to build upon I helped with the MR release back in the day, and they wanted to make a generic Y-wing, which I just absolutely drove me crazy. I said, if you can make one, why not make it to a specific one? Then you can make a series, Gold Leader, Red Jammer, and go down the line that way. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to. So I talked to Brian. I said, hey, look, we have access to the archive. We have the reference. Let's go part for part down to the original. And then we did our best at the time. Now we finally got access to the archive. We've got scans of the head. There's details that we didn't have back in those days. So we modified our models and got all the parts together. Well, that's stage one. That's what, 10 years of research that a lot of us put in to make these models. And finally we get them here. So then we break them down and make a paint master that goes to the shows. Then you make a proof that goes to China with a part set. But that's just saying, okay, that's to get the production started. You didn't talk about the 4 months that it took to get approval at Lucasfilm, going through that process. So now you're finally over there. You've debuted it. You've gone 4 months. Now it's in China. All right. The lineup in China is very, very interesting with the factories that we have to use. You have to be FAMA certified. FAMA certified is a Disney requirement that a lot of factories don't have to follow. So you have to use a specific factory. So Sideshow, all the people with Lucasfilm and Disney license go to 1 or 2, 3. They go to those factories because that's the only one that can produce their stuff. Like let's take MYC models. They are aware of MYC. They know what's going on. They know about mass production in China because they don't have limitations of paying the ungodly number for the license. They don't have to pay for production costs. They don't have to pay. They can use any factory that they want. And the thing is, EFX ownership see this, and they understand that there's been a void that needs to be filled. And we understand, but don't think that the guys that are trying to work and do this stuff with these models are any part of the delays.
No,
it's like a fact. I'll talk about we got to the Y-Wing. So they produced the Y-Wing and they're going to send it back. Well, we found out that, let's say that factory got put under another district in China. Well, we just lost all the tooling masters because it was redistricted for another political party in China. That's what happened to our TIE fighter. We were going to do another run of TIE fighters, but paint them and put a little extra strip of detail around the wing in the Empire Strikes Back version. Well, that factory, $250,000 worth of toolings, patterns, all my kit parts, my paint master was lost because it was something happened with the factory that it changed provinces, and that province took over, or a new company, and all that is lost.
So Steve, what's stopping that stuff from happening anymore? Is that still?
It's the backlog at the factory is what I was always being told. But now talking to new leadership, we're finding out there are other factories that we could tap into, but Brian just didn't want to use those resources at that time. And the guys now are really looking at all possibilities. You read his letter, Gabe?
Right. Larry?
You read that letter? I mean, the guy, he's a phenomenal.
He's over there. I mean, he's over there.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you, you see my little baby Yoda back there? I got a little baby Yoda sitting right there.
Yeah.
I support the craziness as well, guys. I'm as nerdy as the next.
I've been in your basement, dude.
You haven't been in the new man. I got I'm not just a Star Wars nerd. I like football helmets and I got Starship Trooper stuff on the thing behind the tile. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff, but
Steve?
I just want to, sir.
No. So I just wanted to ask you. So going forward, then the plan for EFX is to produce these models, studio models, in China, correct? Because that was the model before, and then when you guys did the Star Destroyers, that was different. They weren't being produced; they were being produced by artisan model makers here.
Right.
So here's the thing. Before I'm gonna just kind of just make sure, obviously, there's this transition going right now. So I mean, I don't want anyone to be like, yes, there's stuff going out, and all of a sudden it's like it came from this. Let's just talk about the generality of it.
I can answer that this way. I could say this as someone that really wants to see the stuff start happening. I could speak to the Star Destroyer. That was called an artisan line, and they were produced that model that is out there, to where there will be a certain amount of stuff produced in China, and then there would be a artisan line, is a good model, if that makes any sense. That where there will be higher end, maybe there. I'm not speaking for it. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a model maker for EFX, and I'm not speaking for the company. I just tell you, as me being a fan and a model maker, is that okay, Gabe? That I would love to see a uh, a company set up to where they can have the stuff made in China for the masses, 700, 500 units. But then for those really specific collectors that want maybe a custom made slave one, or you guys, know what I'm talking about, something that's more artisan, that could be a possibility. Everything is on the table right now because they're just getting started again. It's
Yeah.
a lot
And again, look, this is why I brought up the conversation, right? Because I think getting the fan feedback and getting because we're the ones buying this stuff, right? And that's why I wanted to start that conversation and start asking, because as there was this big void, of stuff. Yes, there are a lot of people that were filling that void, right? Unlicensed, right? And again, going back to the unlicensed thing, they're cheaper, right? A lot of the times, not always, but a lot of times they're going to be cheaper because they're going directly to the the manufacturer in China. But again, Disney specifically has very, very strict requirements for those. Because if you think about the PR blowback that you'd get if all of a sudden, they just pick some random factory and all of a sudden, hey, EFX is making, getting child labor,
Yeah.
abusing the factory workers. So that's why it's very specific that they could only use very specific factories, because those have been kind of made sure everything is okay. Human rights have gone through and made sure that they're being treated right. And that's the thing, you just never know with other manufacturers. You just don't know what factory they're using. If you're if you support that kind of stuff, if you're just like, whatever, I don't really care if some kids are making my props, then I mean that's on you. But just saying, there's a lot of things that need to happen with the license. Look at that. Yeah.
that is
Space battleship Yamato.
Yeah, look at that. 1/200 scale. Yeah, see, I got nerdy stuff all over the place, man. That's printed on that new Sonic 8.
Yeah. Star Wars, look, can I do a Star Wars collection episode with the FX? We're working on, we're seeing, we're right. We're working on something. See if we can get some
There's a lot. I guess, hey Gabe, you could just say, man, we've got a lot of moving parts going on right now. As it develops, we're still just within a week or so, week and a half of Brian passing, and we miss him. I know I haven't spoken about Brian since kind of when he left the
convention.
Yeah, the convention, and it's like I've read a lot of stuff, that was being posted, and I understand folks are upset, and but I can just tell you, we're going to do everything we can to make everybody right, and you guys are always a good source of to talk to get a kind of an understanding of how to proceed to make sure the fans and the customers are taken care of, and I think this is a good spot to do that. A lot of folks don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and I can tell you the folks that I work with are committed to making everything right, and I can say that.
I can thank you on behalf of everybody here for doing something that should have been done years ago with keeping people in the loop, right? I mean, this is a step in the right direction, truly, because people just had no idea what was going on. It was just radio silence, right?
Yeah.
And
communication
is what you've done now is more than have happened in the last 5 years.
Well, and you got to remember that's the thing, though. Like, I think a lot of these companies and they're still living in a different era, right? They were still living in an era where the blogs and the forums were primarily where us fans went and got our news and kind of caught up on that. But things have changed, right? I mean, things have changed dramatically. Now there's all these Facebook groups, and there's shows like this on YouTube. There's influencers. If I dare to call us that, right? There's influencers out there, showing the stuff and doing reviews and really educating the people on the products. And I think that's a tool that all these other companies are starting to utilize because they realize that. And I think EFX kind of got left behind for many years, where the only place where you can get any type of answer was either talking to you guys at a convention.
Yeah.
Which is right. Most people are not going to be confrontational. First of all, they're not going to ask you the tough questions.
Oh, there have been.
I'm sure there are, but nevertheless, it's not going to get past kind of a.
For example, EFX's Instagram page. There's not a single picture on it. It exists, but that's it. There's not a single post on there.
And try writing. You used to write to info@efxcollectibles.com.
Right.
I mean, that was just a void. You would write and write and write. There were no responses. So the assumption on the part of the collector who doesn't have inside information, right? Who doesn't have, the ability to talk to you or to call Brian or to see you guys at the conventions, the assumption is automatically, this is not a legit company, right? I'm writing to them and they're not writing back. If you write to Regal Robot, Tom Spina's got an army of, there's a girl in the office and she's writing back the same day. And so you feel as though someone's communicating with you. Well, if no one responds to your emails, you're lost. You're completely lost.
And I think that was that. I think you hit that on, right? That I think there was a group of some of us that we get a little bit of inside information here and there. So our confidence tends to be a little bit better, right? So I got attacked left and right for kind of defending EFX, on a lot of social media posts. But I'm like, no, I mean, they make great products. I mean, and again, part of me, I'm doing the 10 days of EFX, right? Like on Instagram, because a lot of people tend to kind of stick to these, these last few SKUs that didn't get, shipped out yet. Mm-hmm. But you got to remember, I mean, I'm going to show 10, but just 10 because I just decided to pick the number 10. But there's, way more SKUs, going back, including studio skills, right? Like I said, the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter, which are
Star Wars too. They did the Viper helmet from Battlestar Galactica.
Right, Battlestar Galactica.
I have a 4-foot Nautilus. From EFX.
All the Marvel stuff. I have all the
Marvel pieces.
I have all the EFX Marvel stuff, as well. I have the shields.
But the thing is, it was like, I mean, Brian, God rest his soul, was a one-man operation when it came to that kind of stuff.
Right.
And for even those of us who knew him and had the ability to talk to him, it was the same thing, right? I saw him at Celebration and he said, hey, email me when you get back home and I'll, I have some information and stuff to send you. So I came back home and I emailed him and I didn't get a response. So a couple of weeks later, I emailed him again and I didn't get a response. A couple of weeks later, I emailed him a third time and I was just like, and I know him. Yeah. And yet after that third email, like 2 weeks later, I just get a random email from him. This was a week before San Diego Comic-Con. He just sent me an email and I was just like, huh, did you finally catch up after a month and a half of me emailing you? But this is the thing. And I knew him and I had the ability to talk to him. What does that leave for the people who don't know Brian, who have no inside track at all? Yeah. They're just left.
I mean, that's a big part of the things that have to change, right?
Yeah, exactly. That would be key.
Talk to people. That's all you have to do is talk to people, man.
Well, I could tell you that, Joseph, your story is not limited to the.
It's not. Yeah.
I work.
You were probably in the same boat.
I work directly for the man. I love him to death. He's funny. He hard, just one of the most inappropriate comic guys I've ever met. Could tell some of them. I've been in the military 22 years, a cop for 6, and he could make me blush with some of the jokes he would tell.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about him. But I could tell you, myself and Gino and some of the guys would bring up a lot of this stuff. Hey man, I will answer the phones, or Gino will answer the phone.
Yeah.
No. You know, it's like, it's not that it wasn't obvious. I mean, there would be times that I'm in the middle of a project that there's deadline was on it and I need some information. I could never get it back. So it wasn't personal. It's just the way it was. And
Yeah.
it's hard because I think about them still. And you know, the last time I always gave him, I think I told Gabe this and Lee, that every time I would show up at a show, I would come up to him and give him a big Wyoming embrazo, you know, a big old Wyoming hug. And I said, "Hi, Brian." And he'd say, "Hi, Steve." You know, because it's usually under stress because we have to get the booth built and stuff. And when it came down to it, he trusts the guys around him. That's why he kept us around. I mean, I've been working with Brian for 15 years. And there's some really great things out there: the Falcon, the Y-Wing, the X-Wing, and there's a group of artists like Jason Eaton and Mike Salzo and Jay Bowden, all these guys that would come together to produce these wonderful pieces of art. And they will have that collectability because they are licensed pieces. So just moving forward, as for me as a model maker, with the advances in technology as far as scanning goes, 3D scanning, and as expensive or valuable these props are, the days of molding a prop like we used to do back in the 90s are over. They're not going to let us pour rubber on a prop anymore. So it's the 3D scanning, but having that direct access or finding somebody that has the molds like this ATST. I mean, this is the proof from the molds, but I actually have the castings that were made by rest in peace Greg Jean. He told me a story. This is a Greg Jean story. He told me that he used to sweep at ILM. He would sweep the floor, and all he ever wanted was, you know, an ATSD is what he kind of told me. And one time they were sweeping the floor and they gave him this box of a bunch of green nasty castings, and it's the ATSD from the original molds. I'm not sure who gave it to him.
Wow.
But that's how then he gave them to Brian and said, "Here, you know, you're going to make an ATSD here. Use these to make them." And that's where we got our proofs from. So it's the small community that even behind the scenes, there's a lot of nitpicking and I don't like that guy. This guy, you know, he doesn't do this. But in the end, all we really want is put out a good model and as best as we can. And we still have access to the archive and Lucasfilm archive. And I just promise you, anything that goes forward that I have my hands in it's going to be the best it can possibly be. And hopefully in the future we can, I say we as in me, and whatever model makers I tap into to bring a product out for potential release, it's going to be the most accurate you can get your hands on, or I won't do it. There
you go.
Well, getting back to your original point, Gabe, which is, you know, for there are going to be those people for whom it is a very important thing to have something that is exactly like the studio model, right?
Or just even licensed, right? I mean, I think
right, or just licensed.
Right.
But you know, licensed pieces have to go through an approval process from Lucasfilm, right? So just that in and of itself lends a little bit of, well, you would hope it lends a little bit of accuracy, right? But again, there's going to be people for whom, you know, a piece like what MYC produces is going to be, you know, it's good enough for them because they may not really care about whether or not it's 100% accurate and it has that part on it from that model kit from, you know, whatever.
Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm just saying there are going to be those, and then there are going to be people like us, right? Like me, Gabe, you know, Lee, that are just, you know, it's got to be, you know, it's got to be exactly like it was.
I look at it. Yeah,
Right.
I was telling Steve, I look at it. So when I pop my clogs, that means die, right? I mean, this is all going to be left to my son. So the fact that it's going to be an official thing is going to be far more worth more money when it comes to, because I'm sure he's not going to keep any of it. He will sell all of it. So I look at it as an investment side as well. I probably shouldn't do that, but that's the way I'm looking at it. I mean, what is this going to be worth in 10 years? Well, look at the Master Replicas Falcon, for example. Like you made the Agostini one is a better one, but which is more money?
That I would say it's arguable which is the best one, which is the worst one. Both have their issues, but for the collector's market, the MR Falcon is a desirable piece. I mean,
that's what I mean. Yeah, same thing.
It is, Steve, but you have to admit, as a model maker, there's no comparison between a model that's built by a model maker and hand painted as opposed to something that comes from a factory, right?
But that's not realistic, right? Because here's the thing: you want someone to build you a Falcon, whatever, even a kit bash or whatever. You're gonna spend 15, 20 grand, right?
It's a lot,
right? You're gonna spend a lot versus the mass replica one. No matter where you're getting it, I mean, you're gonna pay under 10 grand right now, and that's just aftermarket price. I mean, mass replicas is selling it for what? 12.
It was 1,600, 1,200.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, what I have, it's made me feel pretty good, man. Seeing the responses by some of the guys that you're posting up that said, "Yeah, I'm with you. I like accuracy." And because I'll be honest, guys, when I heard that thing going out today, I lost a little bit of my steam because that's, I could say this. I know what the first 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi ATST is, the EFX's first release, and that's what I've been told.
Oh,
and I worked a lot of time. I was told it's in China. It's going to be die cast. Then I see this happen. I'm like, oh man, maybe we won't be able to make the numbers that I promised we would make. And these guys here, man, they talk to me, and I understand that just the way it is. It's the void that was there because of lack of. So I get it. But
that's why I brought up that's exactly because we had this conversation, Steve. I mean, we talked about this, right? And again, now you got two companies, right? You got Merlin Models.
There's three companies. The studio modelers over in Germany are doing one too.
Studio modelers too.
Yeah.
So all of these companies are, and granted, two of them are providing kits. MYC is kind of more of the statue, right? Like kind of idealized.
I think Merlin's doing both. You could have it built.
Merlin, you can have them build it for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, let's make it amazing stuff. Big fan. I think they do great stuff, but I'm nervous a little bit because I have to make my end, with the license stuff, and it's scary.
And here's the thing. And then obviously let me just throw on my attorney hat on really, really quick, right? I mean, you're right. You own that. I mean, not you EFX owns that license, and at any point, EFX could send certain letters, certain demands, and basically, if they can show that they kind of stepped on their toes, I mean, they could ask for damages, for past sales, from current sales, from future sales. So, I mean, just legally speaking, I mean, I think EFX is poised in a very particular position because they do hold all the cards legally. They have the rights. Nobody else has the rights to produce them. But at the same time, what happens, right? The fans, what happens to the fans, right? That they paid for all this stuff and all that. So, I mean, it's definitely in a very particular position. But at the end of the day, if I'm an art and if I'm paying for something, right, for me to have exclusive rights to do, I'm gonna make sure that I'm the only one that's able to do it. Because that's what I pay for. That's
again, guys. Make sure I'm not here as an official EFX spokesman at all.
Yeah, we know.
Speaking as just a model maker that knows that when they ask me to deliver a model, I say, well, I think you could, based upon my knowledge of the market and desire, we could sell maybe this many. I'm questioning that now because I see 100 sold in 20 minutes and You know, things are being produced in China, mass produced. Not. Hey, look, guys, I grew up a garage guy, and I am not that. Has nothing to do with the garage kit guys. You guys keep creating. You guys keep building great stuff. I'm talking about. It makes me wonder about mass production in China when they don't have to follow any of the rules that my guys that I work for have to. Is it fair? Is it? I don't think it's fair that all this stuff didn't get produced in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have no control on that. So
Yeah.
it's just frustrating a little bit. I appreciate the accuracy. Trust me, I know what goes into making models, and these guys do a great job. They probably put out I don't know if I told Lee or Gabe this, that looking at how professional these guys are, I learned a lot just by watching how they set up their website and how they get the product, but they didn't do it in their garage. They're sending it overseas for production.
Right.
I could never in a million years think that that would be something that I'd want to even dabble in, because I was so scared of getting C&D'd my entire, you know, garage kit industry time frame, that was always, it just seems like there's no, it's pretty, a lot of sack to do it, if I could say that without offending somebody.
And again, here's the thing. I mean, that there's other studios, there's other, you know, license holders that don't play nicely, and they don't really care about, like, fans, whatever. They'll go and they'll, like, Star Trek. I think Paramount is a pure example. They don't mess around. They're like, you're selling props, you're selling something that's unlicensed. They'll go confiscate it. They'll do a full lawsuit, and then they're not going to let off. They're going to go, you know, full force. But again, it just all depends, because I guess maybe the money, right? It becomes an issue because obviously with Star Trek props, it's probably very limited, right, Joseph? You know, I mean, Steve, I'm sure you know.
It's very limited.
Very
There's
limited.
nothing really. There's very little licensed stuff.
So if someone jumps in and just that they're taking 100% money from you know, from a potential.
Who made the flute, Joseph? That's a licensed piece.
Yeah.
So that's Factory Entertainment, and they have a license to produce Star Trek props. The problem is that you know, not everything sells very well, so it's hard to gauge. It's hard to know, and you know how licenses are, right? I mean, you're paying a lot for that, so you know they have to be. It's very difficult. So you're not getting the Star Trek props like you get Star Wars props, like on this massive scale, and everyone's making them, and there are a lot of companies that are licensed. You know, I would love for Hot Toys to make Star Trek, you know, 1/6 scale figures. Thankfully, there's, you know, Schubert Tam, Nanjin Tam, who's, you know, started his own company, X06, who's making them. But I mean, for the longest time, there was a huge void in that, right? But it's true. You're right, Gabe. They're, you know, the license holders and the companies. I mean, you don't see Disney going after these, you know, unlicensed products, right? Which is very interesting, because they can sell a license to a company like EFX, but not enforce the license.
I got a letter from Lucasfilm for a T-shirt.
Did you really?
That game? Yeah, I made a T-shirt. Well, I think it was it David made it? I can't remember who made the T-shirt. No, it was that other guy in Scotland. Anyway, it was the Cargo, the Star Wars group, and it looked like the Rogue One logo. I mean, it was really nice T-shirt, and it was on the T Public site.
Yeah,
24 hours, and I got an email from Lucasfilm.
Well, those are usually DMCA takedowns. So basically, what the law says is that if some type of server or some type of website or some type of, you know, community, like let's say, you know, whatever, Instagram or Facebook or whatever, that's letting a community kind of deal and talk to each other, if that company allows or it has notice that somebody is infringing on somebody's rights, then if they don't take it down immediately, then that company could be held liable for allowing the infringement to continue. So with T Republic and all those companies, immediately when it flagged, and it might be just, honestly, it might just be an algorithm that looks for Star Wars related stuff, but they're scared that they're going to be held liable from Lucasfilm, because they're allowing the trademark or copyright infringement to happen. So yeah, so those DMC takedowns are very common, and in fact, again, as an attorney that's dealing in that space, and it's helping, we're actually helping a lot of creators kind of trademark their brand and all that stuff. That's one of the reasons why we tell creators and artists to copyright and trademark their stuff, because as soon as that happens, you get almost like an automatic guaranteed takedown of anybody out there posting your stuff or trying to pretend they're you, with the DMCA takedown, because Instagram, Facebook, all these platforms take it extremely serious. So anyways, but yeah, that it might have not been directly from Lucasfilm, Lee. It might have been just from T.
Well, it had Lucasfilm written on it. I was like,
on behalf. Yeah, well, that's like YouTube, right? We sometimes get
yeah, it was a $10 T-shirt.
Yeah, we get notifications on YouTube that says, "Hey, Lucasfilm,
Right.
copyright infringement, this and that," and then they have to modify our video because we showed some type of clip or something from the movie. But that's actually coming from YouTube on behalf of the.
That was my claim to fame, Gabe.
Do you guys remember the Canadian company that was C&D? The Colin, I think was his name. They did a lot of Star Wars model studio scale stuff, and that was the last one that I remember. It happened about 10 years ago. They're a big company out of Canada, and how they got detected is they started showing mass production on their Facebook page.
No, that was
What's it called?
That was Mike Heron.
No, that's not the. No, this one is. I think his name is Colin. I can't remember the name of the company.
He got C&D though, right? Mike Heron.
But before that, the last one that I remember was Paramount. Went out after all the creators, about
for Star Trek stuff.
And it was violent. It was like
they were very aggressive.
Yeah,
but
that's
Steve, can I give you my opinion in terms of as something to take back to everyone involved at EFX, and that is that I think there will always be a market for what you're doing. It may not be in the numbers in terms of volume that you were hoping for, but in terms of your bottom line, I think you will still be secure. And here's what I mean by that. That is that if you are producing something that has a lineage, right, to the original piece, and it's something that is licensed, and it's something that is approved by Lucasfilm, and is something that you are putting the time and effort and care into making something accurate for the collectors, and you market it as such, there will always be an audience for that. It may not be, in the, 1,000 plus, but it will be enough if you set your prices appropriately that you will make a profit.
I don't know about that, though, Joseph.
Well, here's
we're looking at just a U.S. market. Look at the Asian market, man. I mean,
yeah, but I'm talking about. Look at Tom Spina's model, for example.
But he comes outside of the U.S.
Yeah, no, but what I'm talking about is look at some of the things that he's produced. Right, you get the artists who were involved in the actual production, Phil Tippett. You produce something that has the lineage to the original piece. You make it in a number that's very limited for your high-end, consumer, like the Rancor. The Rancor is a prime example, right? 83, from 1983. And you tell the collectors, look, this is coming from Phil Tippett. It's coming from Lucasfilm. This is as close to the original as you're going to get, and it's only happening once. We're producing these, and then that's it.
Yeah, we talked about that. You shouldn't let the collector create the collectivity. You as maker create the collectivity.
Yeah.
And I came up with some ideas. I don't know. I'll run it by you guys. I was thinking, let's say a guy were to make a licensed X1 Darth Vader TIE fighter, right? With a ILM style. I mean, not ILM, but a like you see it today on black acrylic, very clean looking display. And let's say we do 700 units. Well, and
Right.
5 of those units is going to be the golden ticket. Basically, it's going to be a certificate that if you buy that Darth Vader TIE fighter, you call EFX, and there will actually be a person answer that phone. Trust me. And you just won you got 2 TIE fighters that go with your ultimate display. It comes with a custom base, and then you get 2 TIE fighters to match your display. And that's the kind of stuff that if I ever get an opportunity to be in the development of some of these products, I'm going to create collectivity for the collector, like me. Like, I'd love to be able, maybe my Darth Vader has the 2 TIE fighters in it. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, maybe I need to buy another
It'd be
one.
like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
And
But
Michael would be like Veruca Salt. He's like, Daddy, I want buying all those ones.
but,
Yeah.
you know,
As long as the other 2 were available for the
Yeah.
losers, right? For the ones that didn't win, so we could still buy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was some of the things. Is what do I like? You know, what would I love to see? That's why the Death Star tiles are really cool. You know, and the some of the like Tom Spina does the with the little creatures. You know, the hollow chest figures. Now he's released. Yeah, I see him. Let's say before he releases those, somebody's out there selling, you know, whatever bootleg ones, but they're not the lineage of these.
Right.
So that's what you're saying is.
That's what I'm
Joseph, I was worried because I put a lot of time and, you know, with Brian passing, everybody's got to get caught up on where things are as far as production goes, like the Slave One and the Fire Spray, with Boba Fett Starship.
No, we're not PC.
Can I say Slave One here? Am I
Yes.
am I okay? I got to see where that's at, and we're going to keep learning as the weeks come, you know, and I have every confidence in the new leadership. Things are going to turn around and folks are going to start seeing. We're looking at the heyday back when.
It's exciting. You know, I'm excited for you guys.
If you guys just continue hanging in there, because I have to. I gotta. You know, some of you guys know kind of the battles that we're struggling with right now, and I just believe if everybody, those that are owed something. Yeah.
Lee effects.
Yeah, Lee effects. There we go. You know what I found though? So many people has reached out and given me, you know, told me about their experience with Brian, and you know, I wanted to come on and talk about Brian that day you guys did it, and I hope me bringing him up now isn't inappropriate for you guys to show. No. But I want to tell you, Brian, I was a police officer, and I got a call on patrol once, and I pulled over, and because you don't want to talk on the phone while you're driving the patrol car. So I remember I pulled over, and this guy goes, are you Steve Neeson? Or he said Steve Neeson, but it's Neeson. I go, who's asking? He goes, you make a TIE fighter I've seen on the internet? I go, maybe, maybe. He says, well, my name's Brian, and I run a company called EFX, and I want to do a TIE fighter. We work together in Master Replicas, but you didn't know me because I dealt directly with, I think I worked with Jason and Dimzo on the Y-Wing, giving them, I think Jason actually took my Y-Wing casting to the archive at that time. So I had just had some communications that way, but this guy on the phone, and from that time, it's just, I've got to go. I've been to the archives several times. I stayed in the little cottages. I've been to up to the big house and had lunch up there. I've been to Lucasfilm archives. I've got to see things that I've never would have without him. Like I said, he had some questionable business stuff that folks are still trying to figure out, you know, about not getting their stuff in time. But I can tell you this, guys, no matter what he did to me or what we're working through now, if in his mind, all he wanted to do was make people happy, especially when it comes to Star Wars. And you could see that when you guys talked to him. He had a true passion for it. And I just hope that spirit continues with the new EFX guys, and that we can project that kind of enthusiasm, but deliver product in a timely manner and make it of quality and in his honor. I mean, to carry it forward, you know, and that's all I hope that the fans will keep supporting EFX. And I just tell you, I'm flattered by all the emails and the hey, good luck kind of comments, and all you guys too. And like I said, that tomahawk steak I had that night, Joseph, it was that kind of like sealed the deal for me that there's a community out there, even though things could get really bad and people are mad about like the dice and stuff, but just anything that I can do from my lowly spot as a model maker, I'm free to speak about things that I know about that aren't company secrets or whatever. But I could tell you that I saw the counter sample for the Scout Trooper. I know the base is in production right now. It's I guess it has a blaster attached to the base because Disney would not allow a gun to be sold separately, so they're permanently mounting it to the base. I guess they worked all that out, but that was kind of stopped after the Brian's passing. But I know they're working that out, so I don't think that's secret. That's Larry put that out there in his message to everybody. I say if anybody has questions about EFX, reread Larry's letter. I read it the day before yesterday before I went on and it touches me today as much as it did when I read it for the first time. Here's a man that has been in the background, kind of like us. You see me on Tested. They, when they come around or you come to the booth, I talk about the model. That's when you saw me. What you didn't see is hauling all the boxes, setting up the booth, going into the warehouse and helping clean stuff up, or doing all this stuff behind the scenes. I can just tell you a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes in these companies, and we don't have 100 people. We got 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, I think that was the misconception. Everybody thought EFX was this giant machine like Sideshow, right? And it's
not.
It was pretty much a one-man operation, and you guys doing your things all separate and all in different parts of the country.
And I can put it to rest now. There's a lot of rumors out there. There's a lot of folks saying that EFS has lost the light. That is not true. EFX is still EFX. It's what would the word be? A transition right now to try to figure out things about things. So just hope everybody can hear this, that our goal is to commit to, they're not speaking for EFX, but I know they're going to work to get all the back order stuff taken care of before we release anything else. That's the goal, to get everybody taken care of, just like Brian would try to do. Give me a call, I'll give you a refund. Don't wait for that. Call me, I'll give you a refund. Brian had his faults just like everybody. Rest in peace, Brian. But I could tell you one thing, he had a heart of gold. And every time we'd go to a show, one night he would take us all to dinner. And he would sit there like a proud papa, smiling, everybody joking. And he'd buy, he'd pay for the meal. And we always look forward to that, because at that time there was nobody had egos bolstering whose product was the best, or who's talking about who and what it was us as a family having a meal together and having a good kind of like our night out. It's those times I'm going to really miss when I think about Brian. So I just hope fans of your show and give EFX a chance. And I appreciate you guys having me on. I mean, because like I said, I'm not here as a representative of EFX. I am a model maker that works for EFX. I have been for a long time, and I could talk about what I know.
Yeah.
So if you have a production question, anything that some of the items, Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary, I've got some great ideas, and I'd love to put it out there to folks. What do you want to see? If EFX were to put out some models, studio scale models, A-Wing, B-Wing,
Interceptor,
TIE Interceptor, maybe?
Yes.
Yes. There's a lot of stuff.
I, for one, would like to see companion pieces to the TIE fighter that was done. So an Interceptor, a X-1 Vader TIE fighter, maybe a TIE bomber, those.
Ooh, a TIE bomber would be
a
nice.
whole line of, to accompany the studio TIE fighter that was done.
Yeah. And I think, and here's the thing. I mean, honestly, it's just, obviously baby steps, right? We gotta get there. But I think you're right, Steve. And that's what, for us and Michael, and we always preach that, right? That it is about the community, and it's about being, being together and kind of supporting each other in the community. I know I've had personal conversations with even some people right now in the comments, specifically about EFX and all that, and me being defensive about like EFX getting attacked and all that. I'm like, no, hold on. Like, let's look at the grand scheme of things, right? Like, let's look at the big picture here, because overall, EFX, I'm a fan. Like, you guys have made some of the best props. I mean, look at that Legend Vader is just like, man, I love that thing, right? Yeah, there you go.
Flip my arms like which way?
Hey, Lee, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that one at, man? Where'd you get that?
Me, this one? I got that one.
Yeah.
Never get this right.
So again, I think
Steve.
Yeah,
I think it's like what people need to realize is that we're all, you guys are all Star Wars fans. You're not these, businessmen in a suit and ties trying to make, money off of the collector. Like, you guys honestly want to see these products come out because you yourselves are fans. And I think that's very important for people to hear and kind of listen, and just kind of keep the faith, right? Keep the faith.
And that's, I would say that, I don't know if a lot of folks understand that when the models come out, it's a group effort. It's not just me. I'm just lucky enough position to be the guy that starts to coordinate all this stuff, to try Mike Salzo, Jason Eaton, Jay Bowden, Bob Farmer, all these guys come together and contribute to, John Carilla was the master pattern maker back in the 90s before. I mean, all this stuff, I think there's been some castings that have been out now from, that was not heard of back in the day when a lot of the patterns were made that we had. So a lot of people forget that it is a family, and it's a group of passionate fans. And just like a family, we squabble, we have good times, we have bad times, and it ebb and flows with everything. But I could tell you that I will reach out to the best to make the best. If there's somebody out there that makes something better, I'll reach out and say, hey, we're doing this. And with the new way, I think things are going to go. And the old way, well, you're just trying to use us to get this, and you're going to make money, and we're going to be left out in the cold. And in some cases, that's been for me and other artists. That like one day, I think we're coming up on where we can talk about the Star Wars launch bay. I want to do a Collector War, just special launch bay, the making of the launch bay episode, to where I'll give you all the behind the scenes pictures. I'll tell you the inside stories of what happened in the model shop and all the people that had to be pulled in at the last minute to get it to stage. And that's some interesting stuff, because
hey, Steve, are you telling me we're going to have a dedicated Disneyland show, a Disney show on Collector War? Oh, man, I'm in.
Well, I could tell you that this Wyoming guy showed up to Disney to look at the area that they're going to display in there in Anaheim, and I was wearing cargo shorts and flip flops. Well, guess what, buddy? You got to have pants and hard shoes. So they walked me into one of the stores. They picked out a pair of Mickey Mouse Mickey Mouse pants, the pants, like the pajama bottoms, and looked over and went and got a pair of boots, Mickey Mouse boots from there. I got my size. So
tell me there's a picture of this.
My first thing to tell you, this kind of funny, walking in is called behind the or whatever, behind the fence kind of deal. So the door opens up and I go in, and there's Snow White smoking a cigarette with her leg up, tattoo on her leg, smoking. The dwarves are all sitting there with their hands in their heads in their hand, drinking, and I'm like, man, this is totally different than what I'm used to. So that was my first introduction. I'm cargo shorts and flip flops, and I had to wear Mickey Mouse pajamas and Mickey Mouse shoes. And so, it'll be a fun.
I mean, we obviously we would love to have you on here and talk about that. I mean, that would be.
I could reach out to some of the artists and stuff and see if they want to come in and tell some, because we got some stories, man, about towards the end, the crunch time to get it to the deadline, and all the artists that came in to help. I mean, and it's it's
my favorite place in Disneyland. Obviously before. I mean, even if it was still open right now, that would be my first place where I would go.
I think there's still some of the models on display. They moved them. I know some of them are still down in Florida or on display, but
Yeah,
I
the
guess
third
that
one
was,
they opened it back up. Yeah,
that was 2015, man. That was
I
man.
have I have it all extremely documented. Like I have videos, I have pictures, I have like close-ups. I mean, so we could literally have an amazing show just
I
about
could
all
talk about. I could tell you that the I learned a valuable lesson about a model maker in production, that because I'm a when I want the model to be, I want that part to be at, well, when timeline starts kicking, you got to get the model done. So you have to sacrifice accuracy. There, somebody said you could have three things. You could have cheap, fast, or what is the three thing that you can't, but you can't have all three.
You can have some. You can have it good.
Yep.
And you can have it good. You can have it fast, or you can have it cheap.
Cheap. You can't have
But
all.
you can have two, but you can't have all three.
Yeah. So
See,
that came to play.
I beg to differ because in Mexican culture and Hispanic culture,
Oh,
we literally, that's like something like that's a saying. You say, "Hey, I want what's bueno, bonito y barato." You say so, like good, beautiful, or pretty, and cheap. So like that's like what you go for and try to get.
okay. There was just amazing guys that really pitched in to get it to the end. We'll talk about that down the
Yeah,
road. But
absolutely.
I wanted to. I knew you guys were going to talk about the stuff tonight, and I had talked to you guys beforehand, and I just want to let folks know that there's no. Um, we're going to do the best we can to get some good stuff out, and I appreciate you guys' advice on some of the stuff we should do, because I want to do working with you, Gabe, or working with Lee and Joseph to get the fans involved in some of the. I had this crazy idea, and I don't know if it'll get picked up or not. I'd love to do a Brian Ono action figure, like the Jedi Ono with the glowing, like get with maybe Hasbro and see if they'll do a Brian Ono Jedi figure, and then we could have a fan cut.
Ghost Brian.
What's that? The Ghost Force Brian, yes, and then do a fan design lightsaber contest. Have fans design a lightsaber, and then actually pick the winner on a podcast or a TikTok video or something like that, and then actually put it into production, and then put the figure in with the lightsaber as an honor to Brian. I don't know how that would go. I've not really pitched it or anything like that, but I just to honor his dedication to the what we do would just immortalize him in the fan base.
Well, there is a company you can upload your picture, right, and they will make you into an action figure too.
Mhm.
There's actually a company that does that.
Yeah.
But they do a Ghost Jedi figure.
I'm sure it would be.
Sure they'll do it.
That'd be good for my personal collection, but I would like to try
Yeah.
to do it in an official capacity.
Yeah. No, but I think it is official company. I think that can do something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
I
But
think it's a great idea.
do you, or is it too sappy? Do you think?
No, I think it would be good to honor Brian like that.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I think I think it'd be cool to get things, once things start rolling, once things start, I mean, why not?
Everything behind me here, none of this would exist if Brian never did what he
Right.
did. I mean, it's EFX and Master Replicas, all of it.
And that's the thing. Like, look at my handle, right? Like, I mean, I specifically post about licensed pieces, and right. I mean, half of them, more than half, 3/4 of them are either going to be master replicas or EFX. So again, look, I think we've discussed that misconception that EFX is this huge company, kind of like sideshow. It is a smaller niche company, but that's a good thing for us, right? That's a good thing for fans because you're able to focus on the details. You're able to focus on that. Obviously, I think that is a something that was missing, is kind of the fan involvement, the communication just on general social media and all that. But I'm sure that's going to get fixed, sooner or later. But I think the most important thing is to support each other, right? As a community and as a family, because again, you got model makers like yourself that that are passionate about the work that you're doing, and we want to see that continue. So I know I speak for myself, and I'm sure I speak for everyone here, at least on the panel, that we're going to keep supporting EFX because that's for us or for me, and I don't know, speak for you guys. That is the gold standard for the licensed pieces, right? That was it continues to be, for a lot of these pieces that you can't get anymore. So that's I appreciate you jumping on, Steve, and talking about it, and everything that we can do to kind of help bring back the confidence of the fan base and the collectors, with any of these brands, right? Whether it be the new Novos trying to do that with the Novos fallback, right? Or even just you guys trying to kind of remedy some of these things. The fact that you're actually really thinking about it and really kind of you're putting it out there, right? It's out there, and I've seen it obviously in the last few weeks. You guys are reaching out to the fans. You guys are reaching out for advice, and that goes a long way because I mean, when we feel that we're involved in the process, when we feel that we can communicate some of this stuff, then we could be those vessels to help EFX kind of tell the fans, okay, here's where the production's going, here's what's going on, and here's a time frame of when we can get it. But even just more understanding, and trust me, I've done me personally on my channel. That's why I did that first video, even before we started Collection Wars. I did a video specific with Tom Spina to talk about the process because that was the biggest complaint, is because they don't like, a lot of normal collectors are not going to know like all these like steps that are required with Lucasfilm and licensing and all that stuff. So you're doing the right thing, Steve. You're getting out here, getting involved in the community, and we appreciate that. I know we're reaching the 3-hour mark, so that's why I kind of wanted to wrap it up a little bit. But we appreciate that, and obviously, for Brian Ono, rest in peace. And I really hope you guys carry on his legacy, and I hope that his legacy continues to grow with EFX, even though he's gone.
Well, I think this has been the first step in the right direction. You actually coming here, Steve, and talking.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I like Gabe said, I'm not an official spokesperson.
No, I know, but I mean, I
just want to let you guys know. I'll tell you what I know that I can say. And I wanted to thank you for having me on, especially because I was really feeling a little down because I know so much is hinging on our success is actually getting the fans back behind us. And, when we're going to have to fork out production costs on an item because we can't take pre-orders for whatever reason, I just got really nervous thinking, oh my God, I've been working for almost, how long have we been seeing that ATST out there? It's been out there for a while. Thank you, Marcel. Thank you, Mr. Salzo. I appreciate that, all that hard work. And it's there. And then I just hope, that we still have the support once it's available to do that. And that's why I've been
I don't think you have any fear of that, Steve.
After listening to you guys and seeing some of the comments, I feel a lot more comfortable, and we're gonna keep pressing forward. And maybe one day, Gabe, that and you guys, that I can get official approval from the powers that be that speak on their behalf. And then I'd be more than happy to come here on a regular basis and let folks see production. Let's folks.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome, dude.
And, depending on the sensitivity of I know we're getting close to that 3-hour mark. Depending on the sensitivity of sometimes we have reference in our possession that we can't show, but I would love to set up a video feed inside the shop so people can dial in and watch for an hour, see what's going on as the model making happens, and then set up a little talk session or something. Hey, this is what we're doing. We're working on the canopy or what, something to get the people. I love the behind the scenes stuff. I love looking at everything in behind Joseph there and looking at what you see a dirty towel on the floor on mine, but it's like, I love that. So I thank you for having me on, guys. I just hope just hang in there, and we'll keep pushing forward here.
I think, again, as a Star Wars family, we're all here for everyone, and it's all about love. And so I wanted to end the show with, obviously, right now Michael's going through a really tough time, right? So, and I kind of wanted to to kind of bring it all back, right? And put everything in perspective, right? Why we're here. Yes, we're talking about collectibles, we're talking about stuff, but we're really, like Michael said, this show is more than just talking about collections. It's talking about love and passion of this stuff, right? We're all so passionate about this, and we're all this like community where all of a sudden we're friends from different states and different countries, and we're all together. But I do want to kind of bring it all home and kind of just remember what it's all about, right? And all these collectibles and all this Star Wars collections, it's really about getting us back to that happy spot, right? When we were little, where all that really mattered to us was family and our toys. And I think nothing is better than seeing this. Look at this happy boy right here.
I knew who that is.
This is Michael on his birthday. And look
Wow.
at the Star Wars toys he's got there.
Han Solo.
Michael's
He got a Star Wars cake.
Michael's been a Star Wars fan, and the reason why, and if you go back and watch episodes, his mom, obviously, rest her soul. She raised him, by herself. She was a single mom raising Michael, and his passion comes, from her and what she was able to provide for him. And look at his face right there. That's the face right now, even though now, he's in his 50s. That every time he sees one of these models, whether you made it, Steve, or whether anybody made it, that's the feeling that we kind of search for, right?
Absolutely.
It's this feeling, right? It's to get a toy, something that made us feel so good. And this is what it's all really about. And ultimately it's really all about that. And I do want to show, so this is Michael's mom, rest in peace. And she supported Michael ever since she was, he was a kid with that birthday cake you see with the Star Wars stuff, all the way to, to the very end. She was so supportive of, his love for Star Wars and his passion. And I just wanted to close the show with that, a little, tribute to really kind of focus on what's important for all of us, right? We collect this stuff for a reason, and it may be deeper than you really think. So with that, I want to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you, everybody. Michael, you are obviously in our thoughts, and we're here for you, brother. So anything you need, please reach out. But with that being said, I want to say goodnight. Any final words, Joseph, Lee, Steve?
No, I'm thinking of you, Michael.
Yeah.
As
Our thoughts are with you.
Yeah.
My
And your
condolences, brother.
family is here for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. And thanks everybody for another Saturday night. We'll see you next week. And we'll remember, keep everything in perspective. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go